What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. Live with the T5S2 Pod 57 finals. We've got over here in the red, piloting the Imperial Knights, the appropriately red-colored Imperial Knights, Commander Cha-Cha, a.k.a. Isaac, who we've seen a million times on the finals table here, and is excited to be back in contention for the finals with his beloved Imperial Knights, his first faction. Although I think he's been swapped between about 20 other factions between his first event and now. Versus over on the blue side, Eagles 2092, a.k.a. Kyle Ornstein, running Thousand Suns. Exciting to see Thousand Suns on the table for the second time today. I played them earlier today, but it was a bit of a disaster of a game, so... Somebody put a big pyramid in the middle. I couldn't move around. It made me very sad. So I'm excited to see how this game goes. I don't know. I think it tends to be a little Thousand Suns favored because they do tend to be pretty good at killing Imperial Knights. But Imperial Knights can save out of it, and they can punish Thousand Suns pretty effectively if they get too aggressive, because the Imperial Knight shooting is extremely well set to kill Thousand Suns units fairly well. Thanks for coming and hanging out in the channel, everyone. I'm just going to throw a prediction up for the folks who are... Oh, I didn't do my prediction from last game. Oh, I wanted to forget as quickly as I could. We've got Thousand Suns. We've got Imperial Knights. Who will win today? Looks like the players locked in their secondaries. I believe they're both on tactical, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see once the game begins. Let's run through some lists as we are rocking through deployment here. Exclamation point lists in chat if you want to get access to those, or they're... I was going to say they're in the video description, but that's wrong. That's YouTube stuff. We're not on YouTube today, chat, or I've been streaming too many in-person events, not enough T5S2. Forget how Twitch works. All right, let's rock through the Imperial Knights real quick. Commander Cha-Cha running none other than Canis Rex, the great man himself. This is like a Brian Jones special, by the way. Very similar to the list that Brian has been running for a really long time, basically through most of the edition. We're rocking Canis Rex, a Cerastus Knight Lancer, plus a Knight Errant with Mysterious Guardian. On top of that, we've got 3 Armiger Warglaves, 2 Assassins, a Calidus, and an Eversor, and a little handful of Inquisitorial Henchmen. That's 4 Inquisitorial Henchmen there. This is, I should note to everybody, this is being played before the April points update, so the points have not changed for these factions. Looking at the factions, I believe the Thousand Suns list would have gone up very slightly. 20 points, I think, from the enhancements. And we don't have any of the units that went down. Yeah, so this list got slightly nerfed in particular. But to be fair, the Imperial Knights list also went up 20 points because the Assassins and the Inquisitorial Henchmen were similarly points increased. So we'll call it a wash. We're basically playing with the new points. Chat, both of these players have just submitted lists that are 20 points too high. Imperial Knights did not have a points change, but they typically relied on Imperial Agents, which did go up. So the Calidus Assassin and the Inquisitorial Henchman went up 10 points apiece, which is why we see the list being a slightly over its current Munitorum points value. Which was, I mean, definitely a nerf to Imperial Knights. I think I called them one of the most nerfed factions in the game as an honorable mention, because they didn't see any points changes, but they also weren't doing very well. So shout out to Commander Cha-Cha for rocking it with the Knights and continuing to show us that the faction's got some power. I know there are a couple sort of Knight apologists, Knight stands in the community who are just bashing these things as far as they can to try to get some W's with the big stompy boys, and they're doing all right so far. Flip that clock to Commander Cha-Cha while he's deploying there. Same for the Adeptus Mechanicus list, up 10 points. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I like that they were trying to increase list diversity for some of these factions, but I do wish that they, I don't know, give them a little something. So yeah, that's what's going on. Knight apologist. Indeed. Yeah, so let's take a look at the Thousand Suns list. So the Imperial Knights list, we do have, it is important to note, one thing I will point out specifically is that we do have the Mysterious Guardian on the Knight Errant. So that's the shooting knight. Here he is being deployed right now. I guess he's a combo. Where it's not the Warden, I believe, is the shooting guy. But this runs rocking a Thunderstrike Gauntlet and a thermal cannon, and he's got the ability to jump, so he can go into reserve and then deep strike back on the table. And he also gains the deep strike ability, so he could potentially start the game in reserve, drop, shoot, and then uppy downy the next round. So he can actually be extremely mobile, which a lot of people don't really expect from a knight. A lot of times you see this on the more ranged focus knights because it lets them get really easy lines of sight. What we're seeing right now is Magnus being placed as such that the knights essentially cannot get line of sight to him. I don't believe that there's a position where they're going to be able to see him. Which means that the knight shooting is mostly going to be blanked on this first turn because they are so ponderous, right? You're only playing a couple models, and they are like really big and slow. They do have that towering keyword, so they can tow terrain to see around it, but that only helps them so much. But being able to just jump yourself to any position, tow terrain, 9 inches away from enemies, and get line of sight to cheeky enemy units is super powerful. It also helps you complete secondaries more easily too. So yeah, that enhancement is going to be a big deal this game. Looks like we're going to go first already. These players are rocking it, and that is Commander Cha-Cha with the first turn. Send it back to the player mics real quick here.
Get going. Red player starts.
Looks like we are on fixed objectives today.
Locked. I'm doing fixed.
I'm also doing fixed.
Cool. Wow. Very exciting stuff.
What a time to be alive, chat. The most exciting game of 40k ever played.
It's almost like people give up fixed pretty easily.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So both deploying Teleport Homer's Assassination versus Bring It Down on kill secondaries. Okay. All right. Everybody's got to hand in your tactical cards. It's the no fun police over here today. So it looks like we're scouting forward with an Eversor Assassin. So this guy is pretty good for a variety of reasons. First of all, he clears the middle of the table really, really quickly. He's got a 9-inch scout by himself, and he's got a base 9-inch movement. So he's looking at a 6-inch charge if you deploy on the line, assuming he can fit his base. And it looks like the Rubric Marines are up against the wall here. So the Eversor Assassin could just sink in and tag a Rubric Marine squad. And he has 6 potentially sustained 2, I believe, anti-infantry 2 weapons. So he has a pretty solid chance of just clipping out the attached Rubric squad to the character. He probably won't kill the sorcerer that's attached, but those sorcerers, if they lose their Rubric squad, they lose their lone operative effect, so they'll actually become much easier for Commander Cha-Cha to deal with if that Eversor Assassin is successful in his task. What we also could see is just him do a teleport Homer on the first turn. that could definitely also happen, potentially. Commander Cha-Cha's got to be careful about where he puts those lone operative characters, because the Thousand Suns can Doom Bolt them from farther than the normal 18 inches that you can typically cast Doom Bolt at. And we do have a Mutalith Vortex Beast in the back here as well, so we could potentially be throwing multiple Doom Bolts off of these sorcerers at 18 inches of range, because the range is doubled. So if that sorcerer gets 36 inches away from these knights in line of sight, we can potentially, assuming that we have enough Cabal points generated, depending on what dies here, chuck a couple of Doom Bolts off of him if someone else starts the chain, and be just plowing mortal wounds onto people while being unshootable and far away, which I think is the intention of the combo there. Since the Lord of Forbidden Lore is able to recast already cast rituals, but because it's already ignoring the restriction that you can't cast a ritual someone else has cast, thanks to their enhancement, you actually don't have any restrictions on it, so you can cast them as many times as you have Cabal points to spend, which gets a little nutty when you start to throw multiple Doom Bolts, although their better rituals cost a ton of Cabal points or are only targeted on specific units. Most of them cast on themselves. Are we using the WTC 2-inch wall thing? Where walls count as defensive barricades if you are infantry and can end inside them. No, we are not. But you can still attack 1 inch through a wall, and in this instance, the Rubric Marines are right up against the wall, so the Eversor Assassin has access to them regardless, because they can just stand right here and reach 1 inch through here. Sobbing and crying, yeah. Yeah, we try to, for server events, as much as we can. There's some stuff that you just kind of have to fudge just playing on TTS, but as much as we can, try to play rules as written. I'm not going to say that we do that 100% because there's occasionally some stuff that we'll house roll just because it gets super silly if you end up playing it strictly raw. But the wall screening is an intended property of the game, so we're going to stick with it. It is in WTC, yeah. They just actually increased. They I believe changed the rule recently to make it a little bit more straightforward. It used to be that you would declare a charge that could end inside the wall. You would set your model aside and then call a judge, and the judge would essentially adjudicate where that model would go. Now you place the model next to the wall and place a token on it, I believe, and the token indicates that the model is like within the volume of the wall, and then what you pile in past the other side once they complete their fight. So it is a WTC thing, yeah. Although, to be fair, it only works for models that can go through breachable terrain. So in this instance, it would only work for the Eversor Assassin itself. It doesn't let knights punch through walls. So monsters and vehicles, to my knowledge, and to be fair, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on WTC house rules, but I don't believe that it would actually affect any of the big knights here. Remember the time GW tried to fix it by making engagement 2 inches near a wall? Yeah. Who remembers, speaking of WTC rules, who remembers the first version of that, where anything could phase into the wall, but they could only move through walls as if they were breachable if during that charge move, I believe is how it worked. So you could put like knights and stuff, you could wall phase them, but as soon as you killed your charge target, you couldn't move anymore because you could no longer go through the wall. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, the GW fix was hilarious. Yeah, extended your engagement range to 2 inches if the engagement range, the drawn line between the attacker and defender crossed the ruin. So you could dynamically change your engagement range during your fight phase. This was 9th edition, so you had much more freedom with your fight phase movement. You could dynamically change your engagement range between the fight phase and the what am I trying to say? Between the fight phase and the or between the pilot and fight steps. So you could move in and out of engagement of enemy units, and it was like ridiculously overpowered. Well, it's also like, I mean, as much as you can sort of theater of the mind 40k, which is like a ridiculously, what's the word? It's like a ridiculously gamified system. You can imagine that a unit trying to take a defensive position within a ruin, like would position themselves so that they could defend the open, like the avenues of ingress. So like, oh, you can charge through the walls or whatever, but like you get shot by a bunch of flamers and stuff. So like, I don't know. It almost makes less sense that you can charge in wall phase. You know what I mean? Like, is my tactical squad just gonna stand near the window and be hit like by an axe? I'd probably stand, up against the edge of the window and shoot that guy. I think that you can sort of justify both of the mechanics, like one way or the other. Breachable terrain is already so unrealistic that it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're already moving models through solid objects, so you kind of you gotta take the good with the bad there, I think.
Move him into. I'll move him there.
So already through Commander Cha-Cha's first turn, basically just pushed up to the middle to play a teleport homer. I guess with the Lancer, it looks like is what we did. I believe that he's also oathed for Reclaim the Realm to give his units additional movement. He's going to complete that oath if he takes the home objective of the Thousand Suns player, which is going to be hard to do. But remember, he's got an uppy downy knight, so what that's going to require is that Thousand Suns drop units in the back and prevent that errant from ever being able to jump into the back line. That would be a disaster if it ended up being able to happen. Tito Hacks, thanks for the follow. Walls in the book seem to be made of paper mache. Yeah. Like everybody's just busting through them, right? Terminators just shoulder checking themselves through like concrete. As you do. Normal stuff. All right. And we are off to the races.
On him.
Looks like the sorcerer is going to be popping out. We do have a D20 over here to check our miracle dice. 18 miracle dice. I just played against sisters just a second ago, Chad. Can you tell? 18 Cabal points. Jesus Christ. So that gives us potentially a Doom Bolt and a double move. So we could see the Thousand Sun Sorcerer pop out, trigger a Doom Bolt first, and then a Temporal Surge, and just jump back behind the terrain so he doesn't get shot. So that's just like that's just free damage on the Lancer over there. Terminator could do that? Probably. Terminators are very big. I keep talking about Pariah Nexus, but man, that was like accurately... It didn't have any Terminators in it, but it accurately portrayed the size of a Space Marine, a Primaris Space Marine. And oh boy, those are big gentlemen. Throwing up the Zangors to prevent any engagement on the wall here. I don't know. Are we going to stand here with the Sorcerer? That is a recipe to get Canis Rex directly into the Stratosphere. If you just leave the Sorcerer out there. It might not be able to make engagement range, although it's not as if all of the shooting from all the light guns from these knights can't kill 10 Zangors. I think those guys could go down. They do have a solid invulnerable save. They have a 5+ invulnerable save, I believe. But they are just regular T4 dudes. And the sort of we get the big Cerastus Shock Lance plus Canis Rex's multi-laser plus the shooting from the Errant should knock him out. Did I see the new lore of Votan in the Pariah Nexus? Oh, I meant the Pariah Nexus the show. I don't know how to read. I've never read it. Whoa! We're pushing Armon too? Hot damn. So I think what we're going to do here, I think we're actually just going to try to alpha this Knight Lancer right off the table. So what we're going to do is we're, in place of Temporal Surging the Sorcerer, with 18 Cabal points, we could trigger 2 Doom Bolts. So we could use the free Doom Bolt from Ahriman to initiate the Lord of Forbidden Lore, because that only allows you to recast rituals that have already been cast. Ahriman just casts a ritual normally, but he does so for 0 Cabal. So he's going to get 1 for free, and then we can duplicate it twice with the Sorcerer. That drops us out of being able to get any Temporal Surges out, but it's going to do potentially 3d3 plus 9 mortal wounds to the Cerastus Lancer. And then whatever additional shooting we can get from those guys could just knock them out potentially. Votan started fighting Necrons over Blackstone on one of the Pariah Nexus. The Pariah Nexi. I don't know what the effect of the Pariah Nexus is, to be honest, chat. I just liked the show. Any tips on not being pinned in your deployment zone by fast scout units or infiltrators? Well, the first one is bringing scouts yourself, or bringing infiltrators yourself, and then winning the attacker-defender roll-off. That's one of them. But at least that opens up, like, it's difficult for infiltrators to body block your entire army. So one of them will most likely One of them will. What's the word I'm trying to look for? One of them will most likely block at least half of the board. So your opponent gets one infiltrator drop, and then you get to stop the other one.
The other sorcerer. So that'll be bringing down to 11.
Okay, so we have given Magnus indirect fire against the Lancer, the stratagem.
More on to Magnus. So he can do a free strat, which we'll get to when we get there. All right, so we will start. We'll do the Doom Bolts, the 2 Doom Bolts, real quick.
Yep, and then we get a free Doom Bolt and a duplicated Doom Bolt.
1d3 plus 6. Or sorry, d3 plus 6 and 1d3 plus 3.
Jesus.
So we'll do the d3 plus 3 first. That'll be 4 mortals, and then that'll be 7 mortals. So,
well, at least we did the 6 on the Doom Bolt, but at least we rolled double 1s for damage. 11 mortals in total. Oh my god, but the 6-up Feel No Pain that Knights get from their Noble Lance just blocks most of it.
Well.
Yeah.
That's a little spiky. Hot damn. But we do have those rerolls floating on Magnus, I believe.
I forgot to spend my last 5 on moving him back into cover. That'll just be a 0. Alright, so we'll start.
And then we keep our Lord of Forbidden Lore guy safe. Ahriman is going to go down, most likely, I think.
I don't know why I can't measure from him now, but
Sorcerer again.
yeah. That's 14. Okay, that's fine. It was 18 to him, right? Yeah. Cool. Alright, so we'll shoot the 1 sorcerer in this squad who can... Well, it's not even worth shooting him. So we'll just shoot the Infernal Master into the Lancer. The warp site.
It's always worth shooting Rubric Marines. What are you talking about?
Good.
This guy's get wound rerolls.
8 shots. Your T what?
12.
12. Okay, so...
he rolled 4 out of 11 6-up shot.
So we rolling everything because you're on objective that I don't control.
Whoa!
Ooh, okay.
All right, well, we're spiking the other way
that
now.
spiked a little bit.
Yeah.
So that'll be 6 AP2s and 2 devs. And that ignores cover because of warp.
4 up. And 2 dev instead?
2 devs, all at 1 damage.
I'll take 5.
Cool. And I think the other one can hit him as well, and then we can't, so it'll just then shoot. We'll shoot Magnus at him.
The counter spike, yeah. This isn't quite enough damage, though, by itself.
His whole thing.
So we actually didn't talk about Kyle's list here. Let's give a quick rundown while we're watching this shooting phase unfold. It is bringing in a Disc Exalted Sorcerer, so it could potentially slow this guy down. It doesn't look like we're in line of sight with the Sorcerer to Binding Tendrils him. So if the Lancer doesn't go down here, then he's going to get a pretty good turn out of it. We've got 3 Infernal Masters, one of them with Umberlific Crystal, one of them with the Arcane Vortex. Looks like the Umberlific Crystal guy is going to be the one standing on the objective over here. The other ones are, I believe, in reserve. Oh, yeah. We have one of them in reserve with the Arcane Vortex. So there's an Inferno Master inside this, like, scrum somewhere. I don't know where he ended up. Oh, he's hiding over here. There he is. A little sneaky little guy. So that Chaz just has no upgrades on him. But we are playing the triple Infernal Master, which is a composition after my own heart, because Infernal Masters are rad. We have a Thousand Sun Sorcerer with the Lord of Forbidden Lore, as we talked about before. A lone Ahriman on disc, mostly just to generate Cabal points, and a free Kabbalistic Ritual. That guy's usually worth 13 to 16 Cabal points over the course of the game, which is probably worth it for 140 points, and you get a pretty reasonably statted character on a fast infantry profile. Plus Magnus, as is almost required for Thousand Suns. Looks like 4 units of 5 Rubrics with Soul Reaper Cannons, Flamers. 2 units of Zangors. It is funny, Zangors were kind of the laughingstock of the faction for a really long time, but I think a lot of people are into them now. They generate you some additional Cabal points if they start the objective control, to start the turn of controlling objectives. And they're just sort of a reasonably tough body on an objective. The T4 with a solid invulnerable save. They don't die sometimes, and then they hold objectives. And they're OC2, which Thousand Suns don't have very good access to. But a lot of people just rock cultists in that spot because they're easier to kill, but they have scout and generate UCP, which Thousand Suns are usually kind of burned on. We have 2 units of Zangor Enlightened with great bows, alongside a unit of Chaos Spawn and a Mutolith Vortex Beast. Looks like the Mutolith Vortex Beast is just acting as a buff for the Kabbalistic Rituals right now, which is kind of an interesting spot for him. He has a very aggressive profile. He's very good at, or I don't want to say very good, but he's reasonably stat at melee and at shooting. And he can buff your Kabbalistic Rituals. Plus, he's relatively tanky and kind of fast. He sort of has it in every category, but he's a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. But it's interesting to see him just used as a Kabbalistic Ritual buff back here and just holding the backline objective. Again, you don't want to let the Knights unlock their 5-up Feel No Pain by taking that. And it does look like they have not... They have not quite grabbed the second objective over here. Probably a little bit worried about somebody just flying over and blowing up an Arbinger if it's still an objective. But that does mean that the Knights are not holding more currently. We are on Purge the Foe today, by the way, which is going to be a big deal for the Imperial Knights. And it's a huge deal that neither player got any kills this turn. This is typically a wildly effective mission for the second player, because you can usually force hide your army, force the first player to move on to objectives in order to get a hold on the top of the second round, and then kill a bunch of their stuff and get immediate 8 points on kill more mission criteria. Then at the end of the 5th battle round, you also double score at the, or not double score, but score at the end of the round for your hold more. So you're typically up like 12 points on primary as the second player, but the fact that Cerastus Lancer lived just barely is going to be a big swing, because it's also going to come in and kill a bunch of stuff right now. If Commander Cha-Cha is able to clear out the screening units, it might be able to get into one of these rubric squads back here and potentially kill a bunch of them with a tank shock and then pile in and clip the rest of the unit with a melee attack. Although it is damaged. I don't know if we passed our battle shock check. It looks like that's what that was, and we just rolled a 10, so he's A-okay. So he's going to be able to use his free tank shock and just blast some people apart. Yeah, I think we needed one more Infernal Master in there, which probably would have done it. I also wonder if the Binding Tendrils Sorcerer was out of range. Looks like he was just barely out of range. So I think that might have just been a misposition on the Thousand Suns part here, where they could have shuffled slightly farther forward and then gotten themselves a much better chance to kill that guy. The thing about this Thousand Suns shooting is it feels like the sorcerers are the name of the game, but the fact that everything rerolls and so many of their guns have devastating wounds, one thing that surprises a lot of players is just how much random small damage they end up doing. You'll be like, all right, I'll fire my sorcerer. He'll clip in one with the flamer because it's AP2 on critical wounds and it full rerolls, and then he'll clip a devastating with his smite. And then the Soul Reaper Cannon will go and get some sustained hits and then like devastate you 2 more times. And that was 2 models out of the regular rubrics, not even the character, and you've already done 4 damage to basically any profile in the game. It surprises people how powerful those rubric squads are. Zangor are always decent, but they were the laughing stock because they're in every single box. That's true. Everybody's got some frickin' Zangors, chat. Alright, here's the Chad move here, chat, is an Overwatch from the Flamer guy right in the building and roll like a 6 to wound and then blast the Cerastus Lancer down. That would be rad. Because the Exalted Disc Sorcerer is in the train so he could see. And he's got a D3 damage Flamer. Get him. Look at that Flamer. Look at that Arcane Fire. Strength 6 AP2, D3 damage, ignore cover, torrent.
Where he is, I don't think he can.
Imagine not running Infernal Master with 10 Flamer Rubrics. Why an Infernal Master?
I'm just gonna charge Zangor, so it's like I don't need to be that close.
Infernal Masters are good with little units, but they're not so good with the big units. What you want is the 10 Flavor Rubrics with Aramon, so they get plus 1 wound. That's the Chad move right there.
I'm just gonna charge 40 Zangors.
Or what you really do, if you want to play Chad like brawly Thousand Suns, is you play the 10 Bolter Rubrics with the Infernal Master. Those guys are not playing around. You dump a bunch of command points on those guys, they'll kill whatever you want. And then they'll all immediately die, but they'll kill whatever you want in one shot. They'll die, but they'll look good doing it.
Alright, let's go to... Guess guys like Fire Ranch, yeah. Alright, let's start with this. We're just gonna shoot his 2 Meltas at the Magnus.
Okay.
Shoot. Both hits. Roll. 1 wound on your 4.
Okay.
Magnus taking fire already, and he's gonna have to eat a thermal cannon hit here. Probably not gonna kill him, but this is gonna sting.
Basic Melta.
Yeah,
Okay.
so all these, both the area and the Warglaive are both gonna be just flat, just d6 damage. They're not melting range, so.
Okay. Then I will just I won't do anything to that. Go ahead.
Cool.
Damage.
Just 2. Cool. Alright.
Did Magnus not turn
go
on his
to
damage
the
reduction
knight.
this turn?
I guess I want to reroll this. I'm curious. Cool, I'm at
Interesting.
I'm at 3 CP.
Vime 68 with the
I
follow.
could
Thank you so
also
much.
wound
Welcome in.
and-
We're watching a tournament finals right now. Thousand Suns versus Imperial Knights. Thousand Suns just came out of the gate swinging. Imperial Knights ran right up the table with the Serasis Lancer. Thousand Suns wombo comboed off a bunch of damage on it, but left it on 3 thanks to a series of incredible spikes both ways on Mortal Wounds. Left that guy just barely alive. And we're going to see what the Knights can do on the swing back.
1/6 up on your Zangors.
Alright, one's
I
in.
killed a Zangor. I'm so happy. Wow. Okay, we'll go to the Knight Errant now. He's gonna shoot his Rocket, his Melta at Magnus, and then his Stubber at the Zangors.
Okay.
Number of shots, this is Melta. 4 shots, okay, I'm happy with that. Hitting you on 3s. Cool, they all hit, and I will slow roll these so I can CP reroll if I need to. I'm winning on 3s. Okay, 1 failed. I'll use my Eldar reroll. Cool, so 1 has failed. Fail another. Yeah, I'll just spend a CP if I fail another one here. Just reroll it. Reroll it for CP. 2 go through.
Okay. So 2 4-ups, I'm assuming.
Yep. 2 4-ups, d6 damage each.
Pass both.
Cool. Rocket Pod. Cool. 1 hit. 1 wound.
AP.
I believe it's AP2, so you should have a 3 up here.
Okay. I'm good.
Cool. On the Stubbers. Cool. Oh, sorry, we do that on 2. It's really close to eligible target here. And then 5 saves on the Zangors.
Alright, I will fail all of them. Into those 5.
Cool. Roy, Mr. Chaos is gonna shoot now. Guess we can do a Warglaive. What is Roy want to shoot? They're actually pretty good in the spawn. Yeah, so let's shoot this first Warglaive into the spawn here. Good. 1 hit. You're not T7, so 1 wound on the spawn. Go straight through, very sure you have this AP4.
Yeah, and they have an invul.
Yeah, cool. Like your 1,000 in the spawn.
Yeah. Damage?
That's gonna be 2.
Okay. 5 up.
That's true, chat. We have a distinct lack of Ziggurats today
Alright, they'll take 1.
on the stream. I apologize.
Let's go to Canis now. He's gonna shoot Aramon.
Needs 100% more
Okay.
Ziggurats.
And then baby.
We need some great
pyramids.
great pyramids of Tizca.
Armon gun.
Right? That's a 40k thing?
Reroll
I know lore.
3, yeah. 4 shots. That's better.
Ash got to tell me in that game that the
Cool.
planet that the Thousand
Hits,
Suns live on is called,
explosions.
what is it? Sorsarius? The Great Tyranids, yeah.
4/7 Armon.
What's the damage on these?
4.
Great
each.
Tyranids of Pisgah.
And he's alive. He's alive.
Want to get into liking Chaos Space Marines
He's
like World Eaters the
alive.
most? World Eaters
All right, he's
are
alive.
really cool. Having now played a couple of games with them, I think I'm in on that faction. I think they're kind of rad. They're a little straightforward, and I think they can kind of go firsty. But the fact that they're just so fast and so good at like objective control is really interesting. Call their planet Ash. Not the new one. They have 2 planets. They had an old planet. That one's called Prospero. I know that one. But now they have a new planet they lived on because the Space Wolves did unspeakable things to their old planet. Which is very rude. Honestly, they didn't deserve any of that.
Not using a reroll, we did use a wound one, so. Sustained. Sustained, and then. Alright, 5 days on the Zangors.
Okay. Supposed to fight Cha-Cha for control of the Ziggurat tonight. Looks like it might not be happening. Oh no! Did Commander Cha-Cha double buck himself?
So 4 die.
No! Commander Cha-Cha, no!
Yeah, no, what is that?
I think that map would have been more interesting if the Ziggurat was just a Ziggurat. If they didn't have walls on it. The walls, I think, is what killed it. But if it was just a big pyramid that you could fight over, I think that would be cool. The fact that it was the pyramid that with restricted access was a little silly.
Big Meltas, both hits. Both wound.
Really surprised to see Gene Sailors at the event using proxy models. Thought GTs were more strict. Actually, GTs, you'll be surprised to learn, are actually very open with their modeling rules.
One, and you have just the Lancer left to shoot him.
I assume you're talking about Richmond Open, where the
how much? What's the? And it says D6 damage.
the Gene Stealer called player used like a bunch of vampires for the Gene Stealers. Yeah, that was as long as they're okayed with the TO beforehand, and you put some thought into making them, look what they're supposed to and look unique and easily recognizable. GTs are typically very open to proxies and like sub-in models and conversions and stuff like that. The problem is that like it gets sort of weird. As we saw in the finals game, like as soon as you start converting models like that, so the mechanics of the game start to break down. So you have to kind of play it by ear, but GTs are typically pretty open to it. Full 3D printed armies are cool as long as you get them signed off. Yeah, you can eat. Yeah, the place where 3D printing gets really frowned upon is there are some game stores that really don't like it because it cuts into their bottom line. Although I think I don't know. I don't think I could. I'm not a game store owner, so I don't think I could speak. But I know, speaking as someone who has a lot of 3D printed models, if you ban me from your store because I'm using 3D printed models, then I'm not going to spend any money instead of... I wasn't going to buy the models from you anyway, most likely. But I was going to buy a lot of other stuff. So that's, I don't know, neither here nor there. But... like US Open events and Games Workshop, like inside events, tends to be the ones where 3D printing gets frowned upon. But independent GTs have like basically no reason not to allow them. Essentially, it just allows them to encourage a larger and more competitive player base to engage with the event. So they're basically all in. Easier to make the decision to use a model from AOS for your Zangor Enlightened. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100% do that. I just finished 3D printing up some new cultists. My Thousand Suns army is very Egyptian themed, and I just printed some. I found some skeleton like Tomb King skeletons with las guns that are my cultists now. I'm very happy with them. So those are going to be my cultists. We've got some Necro Sphinxes to be my Vortex Beasts. I just posted in the Patreon members chat. I just kit bashed like a demon prince out of a. He's like a big alligator guy. I'm very excited. Start to go and watch. League of Legions is not a GW store. As long as you don't bring attention to the fact it's 3D printed or it's obvious, then it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like, common courtesy is, like, you know, probably prime your models at least, right? What you don't want is a repeat of like, the very early 8th edition situations where people are coming in with, like, FDM printed tanks that were, like, bright orange or whatever. With a cardboard base or something. And it's, like, clearly you're just skimping on your army. There's the tank shock. Aramon did go down, and we lost the Zangors there. But that's like that. I also will do that for conversions too. I hate bringing models with no paint on them to the table. I feel like it looks very silly. Even if they're primed, I feel like that's so much better than just bringing unpainted models entirely. But that's just personal preference, I think. Makes them feel more finished, I guess. Print all models, but buy all other hobby stuff from an LGS. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I spend, like, every couple of weeks, so I'll drop, like, some significant money at my LGS buying stuff. But for the most part, also, this is for events, right? Like, and especially if you're talking about events, I'm going to be there and I'm going to go pay you an entry fee, but most likely that most of the people at a tournament are not your locals, and they're not people that you're going to be getting, like, their normal sales from regardless. So it's silly to ban them. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really make financial sense in my opinion. If you want to disincentivize people from bringing 3D printed models to your game night, I think that's a different thing, or to the leagues that you play. But for, like, competitive events, I'm only going to be there once every 2 months or whatever. Like, why? You just won't get my entry fee at all if you stop my army from being played.
How about 0?
Printed 9 Pyrovores. Yeah. Yeah, the Pyrovores are, it's like some of the new points to conversion ratios are just really silly, and you really can't justify buying them, in my opinion. That's also the case for like Iron Striders, right? You're like in you know, Taraxi, some stuff like that are like enormously expensive models. Oh, I forgot to bring the Calidus in. Nice of Kyle to allow the Calidus to jump in there, even though we did technically miss the reinforcement step, but she was just going to deploy a teleport homer and call it a day. Yeah, the Iron Striders is, like, super silly. Like, at least Pyrovores, right? Like, competitive lists, you'll run maybe 3. And that's still way too many, but too much money for 3 models. But, like, that's all you need to buy. But the armies that are running, like, you know, enormous numbers of Sidonians and Iron Striders that are spending thousands of dollars, literal thousands of dollars on plastic is nuts.
That is true.
Absolutely silly. Yeah.
Alright, so
Print Chaos Spawn. I also think, like, the Chaos Spawn are really dated too. That kit's kind of rad, in my opinion, because it has so many options. But it's super dated, and I think it's much more interesting if yeah, I shouldn't be able to go into the deployment zone this turn, because this is going to be the bottom 2. Unless this is a rapid ingress, but I don't believe that it is.
Wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, I can come here because this is this red line, the diagonal one.
Yeah, you can come there and then you can
Am I allowed to be here? I can't remember. That's the only thing I remember.
Should be, yeah, because you're still coming off this edge here, so you can come in here,
Okay.
and then just temporal surge there. So yeah.
Yeah, we need to have something in range of temporal surge. But I think what we're going to do, most likely, is we're going to drop the Arcane Vortex guy. He deep strikes. Or he comes out of reserve. The Umbrel's Crystal guy deep strikes. But here comes the Arcane Vortex guy, I believe. Yep. And the chances that he does not one-shot this armature right here is extremely low. He is almost a guarantee to clip that guy out. Now, we did lose a lot of units on the side of the Thousand Suns this turn. We lost Spawn, 2 Zangor units, plus Aramon. And it doesn't look like Knights were able to get too much into engagement of these Rubric Marines. So that was good defensive positioning from the Thousand Suns there regardless. Although we did take a little bit of damage on Magnus for it. So we got to clear 4 kills in order to not give up kill more to the Imperial Knights this turn. And to be fair, I think if we kill 4 units at this stage of the game, the Thousand Suns just win. There are only 6 reasonable units on the table, and I have a sneaking suspicion one of them is at 3 wounds. So this Cerastus Lancer is going to die to anything. It might just die to charging 4 stabs. If we get Magnus with 2 CP on the side of the table for the Thousand Suns, we generate our Cabal points. We have not yet regenerated our Cabal points. We should be getting 3 from this unit, 2 from this unit, 2 from this guy. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. If you can get Magnus a free reroll strat and then use the no cover indirect fire on Canis Rex again, and have Magnus put everything into Canis Rex, plink this guy down with a Doombolt or something, and then clip out this guy with whatever incidental shooting you have that can't get in range of Canis, you might be able to kill all 3 big knights this turn because Magnus can charge the errant. And then you're just dealing with maybe an armature. So if everything goes really, really well for the Thousand Suns here, they're in an incredible position to potentially just table this Knights army right now. To be fair, though, there is a lot of dice to be rolled before that happens. So we'll see what ends up going on. Liked running 9 when they were 30 points. They were crazy tanky for 30. Yeah, I don't disagree, especially because they went up in wounds, right? I ran 3, like, for the longest time. Once they went up in base size, I found that I was surprised that they didn't increase the range of their weapon. And I understand why, because it's really... The Pyrovore is what we're talking about right now. The Pyrovore's gun is, like, a really silly Overwatch threat. It's an AP1 Ignore Cover Strength 6 Flamer. If you jump into like 16 or 18 inch range, I think it gets too strong. But the problem is that their base is so physically large that you have difficulty getting more than 1 model into range at a time, because they're slow models. They can't strategic reserve particularly well, and their range is really short. So you oftentimes will take a unit of 3 and then like move to shoot with them and get 1 guy to shoot with. It's so insane. Yeah, the comparison between those guys and a Hive Tyrant is like ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. It's so dumb. I made a video about it when the Pyrovore kit was released, but the comparison is very silly because they're physically around the same size. I think the Hive Tyrant's a little taller and skinnier. The Pyrovore's a little wider and squatter, but its base size is much bigger, and they look like they're the same unit, right? The same like sort of style of unit. But when you tell someone that the Pyrovore is like an infantry model, like a T6 infantry model, and that the Hive Tyrant is a T10 10 wound monster, they're just like, what? Excuse me? You're a monster? It's insanity, especially because there are infantry that are a similar, like Gazgul Thraka is an infantry model that is dramatically larger than a Hive Tyrant. His base size is bigger. He's just much, much, much bigger than a Hive Tyrant, and it's insane that they're not the same units. They're not the same unit type at all. It's so stupid. Him next to a Flyrant makes it worse. Yeah, Flyrant's already kind of like dwarf their base, to be fair. Man, I wish Flyrants were good again. I tried to make a multi-Flyrant Vanguard list work, and I could not do it. It's so frustrating. All right, so here's the question of the day. Is Magnus going to push up into the into this errant? We have an Infernal Master here with the full brick of guys who can clip out, who can fire into the errant. The Infernal Master is going to get +1 to wound from Magnus, so he's wounding it on 5s with rerolls, an auto devastating, and 6s are devastating. So he has a pretty the unit for sure has a pretty solid chance of probably plowing about 6 damage into this guy, depending on how things go. And then Magnus should be able to clip that out with his melee attacks. The real question is how much can go into Canis Rex safely, and whether Commander Cha-Cha can follow that up with the Armature Warglaves. Now, to be fair as well, like the Armature Warglaves are very good at knocking out, assuming that Cha-Cha doesn't make any mistakes and give like good overwatches to the Infernal Masters. And he will probably need this Warglaive to survive the Infernal Master back here, the Arcane Vortex guy. But the Warglaives are fairly good at killing the rubrics. But what they aren't good at doing is dealing with Magnus, because Magnus could kill potentially 2 to 3 per turn if he's allowed to just sort of let loose on them. So Cha-Cha needs the big Imperial Knights to survive this turn in order to bully Magnus into a position where he can clear out all of the little rubric squads and take the objectives and just like roll that out into a win. But this is going to be the make or break for sure.
That. I get really lucky. We'll do have that. Alright, so you're gonna go. I think just 12 to there. No, I don't have anything for him to really do. Is the problem with him.
Yeah, I feel like he's like solo character. You don't want to like just like jump him out and immediately die.
Not particularly. I guess I'll put him. Yeah,
playing
he's a little
cagey with the
annoying,
characters is
for
also
what
going to
he's
be
gonna
important
do.
here, because not only are they going to give up kills, they're also going to give up assassination. So if Thousand Suns like play fast and loose, they could end up sort of killing themselves on secondaries, because they're already down a little bit on primary, having lost the middle objective. Although I think Purge the Foe will still score them at least one. Yeah, so they should have scored 4 points on that turn. Worst problem is that you don't want Gene Stealers, really. It would be funny to have a Gene Stealer so you can run a Bane Blade. Yeah. I saw there used to be an old conversion that people would do with Gene Stealers where they would build them out of Skaven, because that was the only like cost-efficient way to get Gene Stealer cults. Gene Stealer cults have traditionally been way worse than Adeptus Mechanicus. Somehow. Whoa! Where is Magnus going? Magnus! What are you doing, my guy?
I fly over things.
I think we just have a fight with this Errant, right? We try to knock down Canis Rex and then beat him up with a stick.
I probably will pick the Errant up. Need something to finish off the. Yeah. Okay. Nice. All right. Alright, so he's just going to be back here, whatever 18 off of him is.
I think an amazing kit bash for Gene Stealer Baneblade.
He can go like 5 inches back this way and still see him.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'd love to see even just a Baneblade that's like got graffiti all over it, like got the Gene Stealer cults like logo, like spray, like sort of sloppily spray painted on it. I think you could do some awesome stuff, and I love the GSC like looted vehicles are always kind of get me going. They're always really cool. So yeah, I don't disagree. I think they're rad.
Like, there's not much I can do about that. So he'll be like that, and we'll just move him up to here.
Cool.
So I don't finish him off, and that's going to hurt a lot. So I take it back. He's just going to be there.
Yeah. Also, yeah, just so you're aware, I do have the 2 CP fight on death, so.
Yeah. So he's just going to be there and just hit him like
Blast
that.
it.
If you 2CP fight on death, you're not rotating ion shields on Canis Rex. I think he goes down too.
Warglaive going 12. He needs to get within 12 of Magnus. I want to be 24 away from the Warglaive if possible. Which I definitely can.
Alright, we're playing cagey. It's definitely something that we can do. Certainly,
Yep, you're playing away. So, but this
certainly better to play the long game for Thousand Suns, but it is a little dangerous.
So the hope is that he's dead. So that's the hope.
The downside is the primary objective swing, but if the Errant and the Armiger go down. We would need to take another objective in order for that to really be relevant. Oh, Umberlific Crystal triggered. Okay, so we actually have less Cabal points than I thought. I didn't realize the Umberlific Crystal had been used. So those guys are going to hop in the back there and probably just kill the Inquisitor Acolytes. Okay, so I guess the game plan from the Thousand Suns here is to try to kill all the units on the sides, leave only Canis Rex holding one objective. And if we do that, then we stop the primary objective bleed, excuse me, that the Thousand Suns would otherwise be giving up. And basically just be able to take the home and then deploy teleport homers with these guys for the rest of the game. What do I think of Bloodletters and Skull Taker in a World Eater's army? I think it's fine, but I think you're better off. You're better served just taking World Eater's units. Like having a Deep Striker is not bad because the faction doesn't really Deep Strike whatsoever by itself. So being able to drop units out of reserve and like do actions and you know, push for secondaries is nice. But the fact that they don't get Blessings of Gorn and they don't interact with the army abilities at all is a little bit sad. I kind of barely rate Bloodletters and Demons to begin with, so I don't know if I like them outside of the faction. The downside is that they're the only battle line Cornate Demons, so you have to take Bloodletters if you want into the other stuff. And Fleshhounds are unironically super sick. They are very good.
These guys came in.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But effectively, yeah. Alright, so we'll do that. And
I think World Eaters would Windmill Slam 2 or 3 Fleshhound units every time if they could, for the most part. But the problem is that battle line restriction that kind of affects everyone who isn't Nurgle. Makes their demon allies super hard to get in. Yeah, I don't even know if you need Karanak to get the Fleshhound ability. I think you just take...
you can go 6 and then double point. Alright, that'll be what the 10 Cabal points are used for then.
Cool. So just shoot and scoop both guys. Sounds good.
Yep. So that should be within outside. Perfect.
Is the Forbidden Lore guy in range to cast the second Temporal Surge?
Yes, he is because, or should be probably, because that's what they were.
Yeah, he could do it over there. Okay.
They were right here. So.
Nice.
Actually, is he in range?
Love Corn Demon's gonna wait until you get a second Demon Index or the Codex. Honestly, I think Corn Demons is reasonably competitive. I don't think it's. I don't think it's like playing Corn Demons inside an undivided demon list is fine, and playing all Corn Demon, like, or I shouldn't say it's fine, is good. You know, large units of Fleshhounds is already good. The other thing that I was going to say that I forgot. What was I talking about, Chad? I just lost my train of thought. Like large units of Fleshhounds, the Rendmaster Wombo combo is good. Blood Crushers are amazing. Scarbrand is great. Bloodthirsters are okay. Still good. Those inside an undivided list is also good, and you can play it all together and just like triple up on Rendmaster buffs and just like brawl people out with Fleshhounds and stuff, and I think that that's totally playable. I don't think it's as competitive as Undivided Demons, but I don't think it's bad. You know, you'll 3 and 2 a GT. You could win an RGT pretty easily with it. Bloodletter's pretty decent battle line. Yeah, I think I think they're good in demons, but I think they're good specifically because of the demon benefits. Because you can close to deep strike them, you can drop them in next to people. Getting a charge off to flip objectives is really nice. Like being able to like have Bellacore sort of like drop 10 Bloodletters and just take an objective from your opponent without having to commit your greater demons to it feels really good. And if you can ever take 2 of the midboard objectives and they just deploy outside your opponent's deployment zone and then charge their home objective, it gets really degenerate. So I like them for that. And there are, you know, taking OC2 infantry units and demons is generally pretty good because you can Denizen of the Warp them into really awkward positions for your opponent.
All right, I'm back.
Yay.
Start shooting. So we'll do this Infernal Master Squad into the Warglaive.
Degenerate, like, not taking Tactical Marines. Dude, that Tactical Marine list is good now, man. That list went down, like, 120 points. That's so insane. I think Tactical Marines might be playable now. It's just nuts. Always has been. Yeah, we had a good run with that list, to be honest.
So that'll be 7 shots.
Going down to Necrons when they made all their Feel No Pains felt bad, but if we played that matchup again, it would have been like a 500-point like army size difference, and there's like no way you lose at that point.
I'm rolling all at the same time.
I might give it a. There's so many lists I want to play, which is the problem. I'm like on this Thousand Suns train right now, and I'm on this World Eater Demon Engine train, but I want to play like everything. And there's not enough time in the day, which is unfortunate. But I would love to go back to Tactical Marines and give it a go. Maybe try to optimize the like Space Wolf Terminator list. Although it might be bad in the meta game where everyone's be playing Bully Boy Orcs. That feels really bad in that matchup. Battle Company 2 Electric Boogaloo. I don't even know what I would change. I think I would just take another Devastator squad. Like, would be the only difference. I would just have 4 more Meltas in the army. Those Devastator squads do insane-o damage.
From the Front Master, and then we can just roll this big blob.
Or maybe, like, taking it unironically, you might just take...
I need 5 with blue.
Like, if you were to flip the... From taking all Frostborn to, like, locking in the 60 Tactical Marines, and then take, like, other stuff, right? You could put Adrak Sagatone with, like, Blade Guard Veterans or something. And you could take, like, a Gravis team, or Infernus teams to, like, deal with the heavily armored stuff with Devastating Wounds. And I think you could,
turn that one to a 6.
do some interesting stuff. Oh, did we combo roll this attack into the Hellraiser? That's annoying. I don't love the combo rolling, chat. So basically, we've like because they have so many different weapon profiles, we put every weapon into a different color, which allows you to resolve the attack in one roll. And to be fair, it gives your opponent a bunch of additional information, so it's really bad for you. But it basically takes as much damage to figure out exactly what you rolled as it does to actually resolve the attack. So you just do them all together, and it's much easier to. Yeah, it's much easier if you just roll them individually. Like right now, you have to explain to your opponent exactly what you rolled here, and then your opponent gets to take them in whatever order you want. So realistically, you should just do it the normal way. But it is what it is. That's what we've done. So here we go. Yeah, it is unfortunate for Rubric Marine specifically because they Thousand Suns are a like clock intensive army because they first of all take a lot of thought to play. They also have like an additional phase of the game because they have a psychic phase nobody else does at the start of their shooting phase, and all of their squads are composed of like 6 different weapon profiles. So resolving a single rubric attack is a lot. All right, so it looks like we've taken 2 damage on the Armiger. He lives on 1. No way.
We'll do the other. We'll do that again.
Arcane Vortex guy didn't kill him.
The other Infernal Master squad up here on the henchman.
Arcane Vortex guy?
On that.
What the fuck? Good, son.
And
That might have been where the
we'll only have 5
Rotate
shots.
Iron Shields was going.
Fine,
I was sort of operating assuming that Arcanus Rex would have to rotate this turn, but it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. And I don't know what kills the Cerastus Lancer in this instance. I guess nothing. I guess we just leave him here and kill everything else. Make him take a Battle Shock check again. Because nothing's really in danger of him, which I guess makes sense. It is weird to leave that dude on 3, though. When it comes to weapon profiles, no faction is as bad as Drukhari. 2 of each Intercessor could be neat. Yeah, I don't know if you need Intercessors. Like, Assault Intercessors are pretty cool. And Jump Pack Intercessors are okay. I would take... Well, I guess I wouldn't take Adrox with Assault Intercessors. That doesn't do anything. I've thought against it. But I would take, like, Company Heroes, and I would take, for Vulcan to jump into. And I would take Blade Guard Veterans, for sure.
These all go straight through here.
Those 3 go straight through. So that's
This is AP2, so those all go straight through. So that's
Yeah, the annoying thing for Drukari is Cabalite Warrior squads, right? That's the worst one. Because they have the similar problem where they're like, all right, this guy's got a pistol. These 3 guys have guns. This guy's got a special weapon. This guy's got a different, slightly different special weapon. This guy's got the long range special weapon. You're like, okay, calm down. Please stop rolling. And they're all like AP, like strength 4 AP 1 damage, right? They're all just like slightly different variations of it's not going to do anything. So you almost might as well just fire your Dark Lance and then call it a day. Space Wolf has got hooked on Ragnar Captain's Assault Intercessors. Ragnar Blackmane is rad. Did you see that guy last week? Man, he was trying so hard to dig me out of that Grey Knight's hole on the Pod 54 finals.
3, 4, 5.
The dude cut a Nemesis Grandmaster in half with his stupid chainsword. What a Chad. He's so cool. Launching them out of impulsors. Yeah, that list rules.
There'll be 2 devs and 4 AP2s.
Maybe we try Champions of Rust next. Maybe we like give the throw the Terminators away and we take like we start taking some silly characters. We take the Troll King guy,
Infernal Master Squad,
and we take like the regular captains in the impulsors and just run them up to people, jump them out. I don't even know what Champions of Rust does, but maybe it's good.
Alright, so it's not bad. So I think it's 9 damages total.
I was talking to Animander a couple weeks ago, and he said he's got some thoughts about making Champions of Rust good. We had a long discussion about the Tactical Marine list. He said he wanted to play it with Sons of Sanguinius to get Strength 6 Tactical Marine charges with +1 attack. And I was like, probably just keep taking Assault Intercessors or something. I don't know if you need... I don't know if you really want Tactical Marines to be receiving those buffs. But I like the thought. You also lose assault weapons, which is a big deal. Because those guys being able to disembark and transport in advance to do objectives is huge. It feels bad. Alright. I'll have to actually look up what it does.
All of those are 2 damage. It's 4, 8, 9, 10.
I took 8 damage in total after feeling veins, so down to 7.
Okay. Then we will shoot the Infernal Master Squad at you. Everyone but the Aspiring Sorcerer can see you.
Oh, Magnus flubbed on this guy? Oh, because he had cover. That's the problem there.
Alright.
Magnus is actually really bad at shooting through cover. You have to strip people's armor saves first.
That'll be 9.
Is Commander Cha-Cha just going to remain unpunished this turn? He loses his back objective and then holds everything because nothing dies. That is not the Thousand Suns turn that you want. That's particularly bad. Especially if the Errant can just, like, clip into Magnus and kill him. Although, to be fair, the Infernal Master can probably kill him on the charge, although it's a little dicey. Assuming that he does any damage here with his shooting. If Magnus was there, he would certainly kill him. With +1 to hit and wound, but... Yeah, if he doesn't get it, it's a little awkward.
These are the hits.
Blood Angel's Ironstorm with chapter-specific dreads.
That one is gone.
With the dreads, really? I know that people take the Predators. That was at Richmond Finals. Was the Blood Angel's Ironstorm with like 2 or 3 ball Predators, the Flamestorm cannons? Because those things are trolly as hell.
Alright, so I need your T what? T12?
T10. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is my... Yeah, T12.
Yeah. T12? Okay, so I need...
6 with everything.
6s with everything. Okay.
Well, 3 dev runes and then 2 saves. So it's 4 dev runes and 2 saves.
That was not what we needed from that roll, I think.
2 saves at AP 2.
2 saves? Oh, there's 2 reds there. Yeah, okay.
2 saves at AP 2.
Alright, and then...
Yeah, Infernal Master needed
Right,
+1
so
to win there.
save.
That would have been good.
And then 1, 2.
Alright, so take 4 damage in total.
Okay.
Dev wounds.
Death Company Dreadnoughts? Yeah, I think they're pretty good. They don't feel quite as exciting without ways to like get them stuck in, unless you're taking Storm Ravens, of course. But that's a lot to like commit.
last guy shooting, and he rolled a 5. It hit the dice and moved over, but he rolled a 5. And to wound, he needs a 3, not a 1.
Cool.
1 is definitely not it. Do I want to spend a CP?
This was a disaster of a turn, chat. This might have been the worst possible result from the Thousand Suns this turn. I thought there was a universe where they just went all in and killed a bunch of stuff, but they instead went kind of in and killed nothing. Which is a little dangerous.
Yeah, I'll save the CP because I can use it to...
3 times in one phase. It's because it's movement 6, chat. That's the problem.
Alright, so let's make some charges.
But I've been playing Hellbrutes in... it's movement 6 and it requires nearby chaplains to like hold objectives, which are really difficult to... which are like hard to keep in proximity because they're attached to different units, right? They don't like just babysit with the dreads because you'll kill them. So you like it's you have to jump through some hoops. Yeah, and it's okay. This Infernal Master, he's gonna come in. He's gonna roll a couple 6s to hit, and he's just gonna beat this thing in right into the dirt. It's gonna be great. Eight wounds, now invulnerable. Yeah. Is it 8 or 9? I think the Hellbrutes are 9, right?
Yeah, are they +1 charge or?
What's
9 away?
It's 9. I'm 9 away, so it would be 9 inches because I have I need to be within an inch of you.
Yeah, 9 inches. Yep, 9 charge.
They make it.
Make it.
All right. Well, that should go well. The Arcane Vortex guy doesn't mess around. He's ready to go.
Right.
Although he is probably he might get clipped out by the Calidus here. That could be unfortunate.
All charges unless I want to do something stupid with the Thousand Sun squad or the Sorcerer squad, which I don't. All right. So we'll start with the just deleted the rubrics.
Rerun.
Oof.
Got to get rid of that. The pilot.
Alright, load me.
We'll start with the Knight Errant squad.
Yep.
Hopefully I can just start with the...
Feel that with Vindicators. 3 tabled Necrons turn 2. Oof. Yeah, the new Vindicator lists look absolutely fierce, especially because the actual like module is not that expensive, right? Like you can take some support characters for them and 3 Vindicators for like 600 points or so, and then just put that. I like the lists that are like a Stormlance task force, but they just put 3 Vindicators into them, so they're like, hey, I'm a melee army, but anything you put in the middle of the table automatically dies. If you take the fight with me, you'll probably kill the Thunderwolves, but you'll just die every Vindicator.
Alright, 1 AP.
Cool. We're good. Over here. Exact same thing.
Oh no, we flubbed on the Knight Errant. That's so interesting because sometimes you want to use the Infernal Master's ability to auto wound on his Flamer, and with the Arcane Vortex guy you definitely do. But sometimes you have to use it on the melee roll. But have it like you don't have the foresight to be able to save it in that situation. And if that guy had auto converted Devastating there, there's a non-zero chance he kills the Knight.
Right.
It's a little tough.
That's not helpful.
Did we flub on the Armature too? No way, dude.
Okay, this is...
No,
this is-
not like this, chat.
Not going the way I want it.
No. Oh
The
no.
rubrics are really trying to hit things, though.
Oh
3
no.
AP zeros.
We killed nothing? Not a single model with all of that?
Yeah, you got me.
We'll take it.
Oh, did we kill him with the rubrics? No, we got him with the rubrics! Let's go! The rubric punches!
Alright.
Their little dusty gun butts.
2,
Boop.
3 that way.
Oh my god. Alright, well, at least we killed something.
That way. Guess you can go
That is an unfortunate turn for Thousand Suns there.
good as I can get that.
Ooh, boy. So, I mean, well, it depends on what this errant does too, right? If the errant sweeps and clips this squad, things go really poorly because he just turns around and tries to kill Magnus. If he just flubs on the Rubric squad, then things are fine. Yeah, here we go. Okay. That looked like it wasn't very good. Yeah, we're not going to kill the team, so... At least the errant gets stuck into melee, so that's alright. Inky just voicing... Yeah, Inky's mad about Thousand Suns not killing everyone. She shares a flat with Magnus, so... She likes it when Thousand Suns win.
Very exciting stuff. Just do that one, because I'm pretty sure they're still within. Okay.
Yeah, saves nailed it. All right, well, that's something, I guess. And we have to take a bunch of battle shock checks, so it's not all over. And they took the back objective over here. And unless Canis Rex turns around, which to be fair, he might do, honestly.
Actually, I got.
Although he can't engage them in melee, I don't believe. So
I got 3 off.
it looks like we are
teleport.
looking not too bad. Is there a channel points option to give Inky a treat? There is, yeah.
And I got 5 on.
You can redeem treat for Inky for 6,900 points.
For like the closest ultimate target stuff, do you rule it by
Dudes gave it to her earlier. It's better when we have the Inky cam on, but it's kind of it's acting up today. But usually I'll post a picture of Inky getting her treats when she does it. I don't know if you guys heard it on the stream earlier, but she was like doing a little celebration dance when she got her treats when dudes bought them earlier today.
I can hear you.
Oh, there it is.
What was your question again?
Because the Knight Errant, his close level target for his non-blast guns is the Rubrics, but his blast guns close level target is the Magnus. Basically trying to see what is...
Oh, you're trying to see for this specific tournament how that ruled out?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the question?
So the Knight Errant, his closest level target is different for his weapons, because his close level target for the blast gun is Magnus, and non-blast guns is Rubrics. How does that work for his rule? Is it just...
I know most tournaments rule, like for the War Dog's ability, that it's if you have the indirect fire, it's whichever is the indirect fire's gun is that's the closest for all your weapons. But obviously, I don't know how Trevi does it.
Let's look.
Yeah, well, you look at that. I'm just not gonna change anything else what I'm doing, but I was curious for when that comes up. So I'll go to the rest of my stuff. I'll go to Battle Shock on this Lancer. Again. He's still fine. Knight Errant. He's fine. So that's all my Battle Shocks. Cool.
You have control, not
Over
control
2.
more. You have 3 versus your 2.
Deep. Cal Assassin staying down, obviously, just chilling there, doing points. Warglaive. My Warglave's gonna walk right here on the objective. I guess walk right here. Next to the objective, we like to overwatch it.
Yeah, I got nothing else I'd be overwatching. And that squad hits pretty damn hard, so let me pass the turn back to you.
Yep.
So that we both actually have deep. Alright. If you want to do your other movements while you're waiting, unless... Because obviously this could take a minute.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Well, how this turns out is going to depend on what I do rest of my turn, so.
That's true. Oh my god, okay. Well, he's definitely not dying. With how poorly this start has been. I got 5 dice on the Infernal Master and 5 on the other guys, the Rubrics. That's not great. Let's do him.
Sixes. Oh, 2 6s.
So I'll keep those 2, and those will go away. And then I can roll everything. And I do not get to reroll everything, only the...
Just the ones. Yep.
It's not a good start. All right, I need 5s. For you, that'll turn...
Blues will need 6s. Oh, sorry, red will need 6s, right? Because they're strength 4 flamers.
yes.
Yeah, so everything's gonna need 6s. Except for Infernal Master.
Well, the Infernal Master and the Soul Reaper, because you're T11, right? Or T10, right?
T10, yeah. Wait, yeah. Nice.
So, those two are devs. These two, so this is AP1, sorry, AP2, 1 damage. This is AP2, 2 damage. And then...
So the 1 damage, fail it. The 2 damage, fail it.
And then the
So,
2,
damage there.
5, 6, 7 total damage off of that.
Cool. Oh, I rolled one too many. I rolled a lot of 6s, so I'll just take one of the 6s out.
Crap. So you'll take 3.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So it looks to me like closest eligible is determined on a per model basis, so he would get +1 to hit against the rubrics,
Just the rubric.
but no other targets, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I assumed, but I just wanted to double check because I knew some tournaments.
Yeah, it's kind of open to interpretation, to be honest.
Yep.
But that's what it looks like it's
Yep,
pointing
so
towards.
that's all I wanted to know. That's it. Thank you. Alright, so we'll do that.
All right, chance, figure it out. Yeah, that's a weird one. Honestly, hadn't had it come up before, but that's what we're gonna go with for now. Probably put that in the judgment document. All right, Agent X gave Inky a treat. Let's go get Inky a treat.
Do the night. Lancer.
Inky, where you at?
Over here. Zooms. You have the zoomies. Over here. There, so it looks like 7. Probably be about. It's probably gonna be an 8 after I kind of rotate in just to get through the thing here.
You're
9, but
gonna probably have to rotate. You need to rotate 90 degrees to get through there.
1, 2. Yeah. Should be that. So I'll back up 2 inches like this. Just so we know exactly what it is. So back up 2 inches, rotate 2 inches. Yeah, 9. So.
Okay.
Just run at you. Might actually might fit in there, actually, because my shield's going through the wall and try because it says you can't enter through it. So I may not actually be able to fit and charge him at all. Which would be unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can fit in this position.
It doesn't look like it because either your shield or your lance is in the wall.
Yeah, in that case, I guess we're going somewhere else with him then. Because that's not going to work. I don't want to just give up his activation completely. Might as well take advantage of him being alive. He's like right here. Yeah, it's right there with his...
All right, treats have been dispersed. She's not eating them right now, but she does have them.
Huh. Yeah, that's a little annoying for Magnus there. I guess.
Can't wait for either Knight's Codex to release.
Here.
Saving for 3D printer so it can go brr. Hell yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some cool stuff from Knights for sure.
Probably also like
they're a little bit. I don't know. They're too straightforward right now. But I don't know what detachments they get out of them. It's gonna be.
It's at least a makeable charge. Legally makeable charge.
Legally declarable charge. Kenneth is gonna walk up here.
They could make their detachments based on their chivalric
rotate,
oaths.
so you can stand on the objective and stand on the terrain.
Okay.
That's. Hello, Magnus. I don't like you. Please go away. Warrior's gonna go here. Have a beat on the Magnus and also charge these guys. Obviously not Melta range. Move back far enough, but that's fine. Basically, it's just where is this guy going? He's going to go for so. Sorcerer Squad is an option. He can go for the guys on my home objective is also an option. He can also go up. These guys will be tagged up though, so you don't have a way to fall back and do things, which is very good. So they're gonna be tagged up. They're not gonna be able to do things.
Yeah, I mean that's what can do stuff out of engagement range, but they can't already use that ability. So
I think I'd go backwards, right? And then because these guys are gonna be annoying if I have to leave them there. and that way they're tagged up and they can't do anything. And then you have this one sorcerer squad that's walking around doing things. That's, I think, fine.
Curious if the ally specific detachments for either army.
That's
it would be nice to improve
7-inch charge there.
Or like I don't know if about improve. I guess it would be tough to improve bondsman abilities so that they work in allied like instances, but I don't know how you make that work because you can't take the big knights and the little knights together.
Start with the knight errants. We're now using the big guns going here, baby guns going into these guys. So let's start with the big boy gun. Hitting on 4s, unfortunately, because we are bracketed. Boom. Just 2 shots. As much as I want to reroll that, I don't think I can. I think I need to save it for a reroll charge.
I would like to see.
If I fail this charge, or
I don't know.
I'd be really unfortunate.
I guess they want to limit the amount that allies impact the game,
I
but I kind of would like to see more enhanced rules for allies.
Okay, 1 hit. 1 wound on Magnus.
And that floating reroll is so strong. Oh, so we did lay low the tyrants. I thought we reclaimed.
This is the biggest thing: shooting Magnus or the
zero this out.
Thing, because this is
technically Canis is probably bigger. I guess this is the highest because the average damage on an errant is 3.5. The average damage on Canis is 4. So basically, if you want to risk the 6, if I roll higher than a 4, basically what you want to do.
Yeah, and you're out of melter range with him right now, right?
Yes, both these guys are out of melter range, so it's just d6 damage worth.
I think I'll save it for me inevitably failing something on Canis Rax. Because he's got minus higher than so that helps.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to roll 5 or 6 to make more damage than that. So it's 4. So it's equal damage to Canis Rax. So 3 damage. We're gonna shoot unit. I guess rocket pod. Also on 4s.
Imperial agents get a buff at being within 6. That'd be cool. Or like even faction specific buffs. Like what if AdMech got a special thing for being near knights? Because I know they like traditionally have, the Questor Mechanicus households get bonuses when they're or like they have a traditional affinity for knights, I guess. That'd be kind of cool, right? Or you could even, I guess maybe you could flip it the other way around. You could make a Knight's detachment that can take Adeptus Mechanicus units. That would probably be how you do it.
1 damage, I'm assuming?
You do it like one of those detachments that has like additional benefits for allied units or allows for new allies in there.
Yep.
I think that would be sweet. That's probably an easy way to do it. I was going to maybe suggest that you could use, like I said before, you could use the code Chivalric as your detachment abilities like they do with the Philosophies of War out of Tau, where each Philosophy of War is a detachment, but it kind of eviscerates their army rule, and it makes it less flexible, which isn't as cool.
AP what?
3.
Although, right now, whichever chivalric code is like currently more statistically useful, you just take that one every time, so maybe making them detachments is more flexible anyway.
Fails 1 damage.
You do sometimes take Reclaim the Realm, but like 90% of the time you're laying low the tyrants. Magnus already almost half dead, which is a little bit dangerous. We're in the highway to the danger zone over here. And another Warglaive popping in too.
Cool. 1 save, AP 0.
This is D6 damage, right?
No, that was this gun, AP 0.
Oh, AP 0? Oh, he's fine.
Yeah. Yep. And then the
I got confused.
Warglaive. Cool. Just 1 for the Warglaive.
Okay. Come on, Magnus. Actually, make your saves, please. Of course he does. All right. I'm just gonna 0 that out.
Cool.
He's at 9. I think that's good enough for the moment. I don't want him taking any more than that, especially with a max average of 3. Even.
We're going to shoot the Infernal Master Squad here.
Yep.
So, yeah, I can roll all the air because they're each one of them is going to kill a guy if it fails. Okay. so and they're all winning on 2s. Boop. Boop. Ooh, 3 mental saves on rubrics.
Okay.
Kills 1.
Yeah, because you're in lots of range.
Cool. Knight Lancer's gonna shoot your rubrics right here. Get 6 shots. Cool. So stance 2, so it keeps adds extra 2 after the misses. Ooh, dang, that's pretty good. 7 saves on your rubrics.
From the Lancer?
Yep.
Okay.
AP 0, so.
AP 0, so 3 ups.
Yep.
These are 1 damage each, 2 damage each?
2.
2 each? Okay, then I will not
Yep.
roll those all together. We'll just go like that for the moment, because that's what I can easily grab. So fails 1 of them. Fails 2 of them. And fails 3 of them.
Not bad. No, sorry, it was this squad here. This squad here. He's out of range. He's not in range of this squad, or yes, he was, but that was the squad he was standing next to. Yeah.
2. Okay.
Yeah, and it should just be 1 rubric dead over here, and 1 melted.
Yes. Good thing I just flipped them instead of actually having them.
Yep. All right. So Telvar this lady here. I think that is all my shooting attacks. We go to charge phase now.
One of the ladies just slightly over.
Yeah, she was
Actually in.
yeah, she was there last turn. Yeah. So let's go to charges. I'm gonna. This is the only chart I could fail. I was. This one is like a 9. I'm not really. It's like it's a bonus if I make it. But let's go for the 7 because this one I really need to get. Because I fail that'd be a little awkward. That's a fail. I will CP reroll that. That is a 7. Whew. Make it in. Good job, Mr. Eversor Assassin. Hopefully you can be very mean to this squad. Alright, 2-inch unfailable charge there. Cool. We're in.
If only it has an actual AP
2-inch
in
unfailable charge
melee.
here.
It's not even the AP that kills me. I mean, it is. It's
Okay,
bad. But it's the strength values. Like,
and then Lancer.
the fact that basically nothing in their codex is greater than strength. Like,
might actually make it. It's in here.
I don't know.
So go up here.
Fucking.
That's 3 inches there.
Like,
Rotate
5
1,
is brutal.
2, 3.
Like, most of their, like, dedicated melee stuff is like, oh, I'm strength 7.
And looks like we are out.
Hit a wound everything on 4, on 5s, I
3-inch
guess.
move.
A lot of their melee
Right
is
there.
strength 6, so you win everything on 6s.
my
Or strength
God.
5, so you win everything on 6s.
Yep, we got there with
Kinda
1
brutal.
less inch of rotation. And just die next turn. Good talk.
I could always end up whipping King again.
That's fair. But you do have an actual squad that does. You 2 things actually do things there, so you shouldn't whip into him. Yep, that's unfortunate. But not the end of the world, to be honest. Yep, so let's go to the fight phase. No interrupts anywhere, so it just doesn't matter where we go. This is Eversor, he'll pile in. Like, the actual roll 7 was actually great, because now I can pile in on the objective over here.
Yeah.
So he'll do his swings. He has 6 attacks. Sustain hits 3.
Oh. Sustained 3!
Extra 6 attacks. And he's winning you on 3s.
Disgusting.
Right, hits on 2s, right? Yeah, winning you on 3s. Alright, that is 8 saves on your 5-up.
Probably doesn't kill the squad,
And this is
but that is
precision?
a lot of damage.
No, it is not precision. It is just on the Rubik squad.
On the Rubik squad.
Yep.
8 saves.
So I can choose to stay hits, advance and charge, or you do have to order roll because the control mass is 4 up, right?
Yeah. And these are how much damage each?
They are 2 each. So each failed one will kill a. Oh, sorry, control mass only has 5 up. Never mind. So you guys roll all together if you want to.
Well, I do have to. I do have to slow roll it sort of just because of his ability to
Let's
turn
flip
one.
to a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will just
Roll the first 5.
5 at a time. Because there's 5 rubrics there, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So. And there's 4 rubrics dead, and there's the 5th rubric dead, and he does not need to use his
Ooh,
ability.
that means the Infernal Master gets to
Good
clock
job.
back with a
I
devastating
killed
wound,
the Rubik's, which
probably.
is fine. So now you won't be able to take this objective from me. Throw
Unless
1
I
each.
kill you in
That is
combat.
possible. Eversword is not particularly defensive, so that is definitely possible. Alright, Warwave gonna punch the squad next to the errant here. Okay, cool. Got 1 stance. The stance on the charge. Reroll. Alright. 5 saves on the Rubiks down here.
Alright, there's 3 of them dead, and then we have just the Infernal Master left, who will have to use his ability to turn 1 to a 6.
Cool. So it kills 3 Rubiks, leaves the Infernal Master. Good. Good. Cool. And then we have the one up next to the squad that's by itself. Plus 4 attacks. Ooh, nice 2 stance. Ooh, not great. Good roll though. Yeah, only 3 saves on your guys over here.
These guys? Okay.
Yep.
And I don't really care how I roll these. Alright, so 2 will die. 2 flamers.
Well, I didn't kill a ton, but I did tie up a lot, so I'm happy with it.
You killed 2, because you got 2...
yeah, I said I didn't kill a ton. Like, I killed a decent amount. I tied up 2 Infernal Masters, which is what's important.
That is important for you, yes. Alright, so let me hit you back. The Infernal Master will go into the Knight Errant.
Yep.
Well, yeah. If I can get luck and get the kill there, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm wounding on 5s, they're wounding on 6s. It's not that much different.
Yeah, I don't disagree,
but
Chat.
we'll start with the one that's on the.
It does feel like
objective over
they
here.
tried really hard to offset the melee, like the offensive melee nerfs, by providing additional defense. Where, like, a lot of melee units can engage a little bit more easily because, first of all, the US Open layouts are way more defensive. Previously, I think a lot of times you had to, like, overload a turn and then just stage in the center and then push forward onto your opponent's side of the table. And oftentimes, like, armies that went wide could get line of sight around the ruined terrain. And now it feels like they're much safer, especially for melee infantry. But also just the cover rules, giving everybody +1 save in an edition where AP is a little bit lower. It's not wildly lower, but it is impactfully lower. Means that stuff tends to, like, make melee more often than I found.
So that'll be 2 dev wounds for 2 and 3 respectively. So 5 total damage off that.
5.
Okay. And next guy gets 1 back for sustained. He needs 6s. Okay, that is 1 more dev wound, 1 damage. Oh, sorry, actually that's 2 more damage off of the Infernal Master because that one has an Arcane Vortex. So take 2 more Fatal Pains from that Infernal Master.
No. That is unfortunate. He dies.
Okay. Does he blow up? I'm assuming he didn't blow up. Alright, then they will pile in back here behind that wall as best they can. Well, it really doesn't matter actually where they pile in because I want them shooting anyway. So, whatever. Then I have this Infernal Master going into the Errant. I think that's better because I could get dev wounds, which is really the important part. He does not hit on 2s, and he does not turn that to a 6, so nothing. Okay, that's everything. So no assassinate, but 4 on deploy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that Infernal Master swinging up was very bad.
Yeah, that definitely hurt. Oh, I get I get Bring It Down points for that. So I got 3 Bring It Down points for that. I hold more, actually, don't I? Because I hold 3 right now.
Mhm.
Okay. So that would be... Nope. I can do math. We're fine. All right. I would like everything to die. That would be great. How can I make that happen? So this squad is going to end up being right there. They're just going to go sit on that objective so that this Rubik squad doesn't have to.
Infantry on their natural saves at all times.
Everything is sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it's a bigger
sitting
buff for
there.
power armor stuff than it is for other things.
All right, so I would like the Calades to die. That would be great. Not having to deal with that. How many Cabal do I have? 2, 4, 8, 9, 10.
No. It feels like we just traded punts here. Knights didn't really lose anything, but also they didn't really kill anything. Like all these Infernal Masters, we kind of expected to just get eviscerated and die. This guy lived, punked the Calexis Assassin. This guy lived, didn't do anything, but he's still alive. These guys lived, killed 2 Halverins. Or Warglaves, excuse me. And we get to pulse Mortal Wounds off on the Meteorlith Vortex Beast. Okay. This is a board state that Magnus could clear up. Knight's down to 1 CP. I wonder... I guess it's probably unreasonable for Magnus to kill Canis Rex in melee at this point, but he could certainly kill the Knight Terran. He doesn't have to worry about shooting into engagement, although he has to fall back the Infernal Master if he wants to shoot his blast weapon. But we could just like sink into the Warglaive, kill the Errant on the charge, and then consolidate over to the objective, and then maybe we could take a desperate breakout with the Infernal Master to try to put him here so Canis Rex doesn't have a good landing zone to charge Magnus. That's a little dangerous. I don't know if I would do that. Maybe we just try to Zort one of these guys out of melee with a Doombolt. I feel like that's probably the game plan. We also have the Casino Gun Sorcerer. He could go ham. Get him, buddy. Roll a bunch of hits.
That's an inch from you. I think it is. That should be an inch. Yeah, we're good. All right. And he will go there. And he can only get to there, so that's fine. I got 15 Cabal left. They're staying there. He's staying there. Yeah, I think that already...
I don't know if Josh Campbell's in the server yet. I just got a lot of questions if either of those guys are in the server. I know they watch the streams a lot, but I don't know if they're in the server themselves.
Magnus, but it might not be worth it.
Overall
Magnus.
Power level dropped with Necrons.
Gotta rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to actually...
Oh, there you go.
Through there.
Cool.
6 looks like, so he only has 8 inches movement. Okay. Yeah, you're holding that objective. You're there. I can get lucky on him. Probably not. Hopefully I can. I think that covers all my movement because I don't want that Infernal Master moving. He's not falling back. Do I want them moving at all? I mean, they can already shoot everything they want to shoot. And they'll have cover as well. Oh, actually, he will move. We'll move down here, actually. There we go. That's what we'll do. And that way they all can see the Caladius. And they should all be within 12 of her as well. Alright. So we'll flip these guys up. And then...
This guy's a little too close here.
Oh, that one is?
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it makes... for them, they're just going at whole objective. So they're good. Alright, so that'll be that. Yeah, I need you to make 2 battle shock tests, one on the Caladius, one on the Lancer. I'm going to roll the mortal wounds for the Mutalith to see how that goes. We'll start with the Lancer.
Lancer fails.
D6. That'll be 6 mortal wounds to the Lancer.
He dies. Does he explode? Nope.
And to the Caladius, that'll also be D6. That'll be 5 mortals to the Caladius.
Oh boy!
Well, that changes everything.
It's probably one of the best Mutalith pulses I've seen.
I was not planning on that.
That's nuts. Alright.
Alright.
Well, at least we get an Infernal Master shot in Cadus Rex. Yeah, this might be curtains for our knight friends here. If things don't go horribly, we might be able to knock Canis and the Aaron out this turn and leave 1 Helverin. I feel like that's a little bit more reasonable.
Other than maybe re-rolling saves for Magnus.
Yeah, let's go Mutalith! Get him!
So we'll just do 1 new bolt into Canis. I will have, so that'll bring me down to 8. And I'll spend 6 on Magnus to give him full reroll hits, so I don't have to spend a CP.
If only the Toxic Ray didn't have a dodgy model? Yeah, 100%.
With him, and I can hit things hard.
That Mortal Pulse is so good.
Right.
No,
it's just
I didn't vect the last 2 times I used it. I couldn't vected it.
Yeah, you could have been vecting that from the start.
Yeah, I firmly forgot about tactic.
We'll start with the Mutalith.
Yeah, you gotta hit the Devastating Sorcery if you're playing the Calidus into 1,000 Suns. Getting the rerolls on Magnus is nuts, and making it tax him an additional CP on top of the Cabal points is huge. Big benefit of the Caladius in that matchup. Sometimes your opponent gets really greedy and like deploys a Calidus on the line, and you just push really far with the Temporal Surge and try to kill it. That's secret sauce right there. Build the model in the box. It's literally unusable. Yeah. Yeah, you have to have like the awkward discussion with people of like whether or not he like the tentacles can move through walls when you're moving the model, and you'd be like, hey, if I'm doing like the slide across the table and they impede my movement, I literally can't move it anywhere. Which I don't. It's not typically how people play. Usually people just like basically check at the beginning and end of their movement whether or not they have a legal position with their miniature. But it's really never covered in the rules like how that's supposed to work, because your miniature is not used for measurement. So measuring whether or not your movement is successful is like kind of nebulous.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna spend a CP on this squad.
But maybe just get rid of True Line of Sight so we can just proxy base. The base fits, the model fits, as long as you don't land on a wall. Yeah, I wish that was how it worked. I think it's clear that the model impedes your final position because of how cover works in the edition, where like visibility can be restricted by your model being in terrain. So you actually, it is important that you have like an actual landing zone for your model. That's not how it worked in previous editions, so I think it was a lot more nebulous, but I think that it's nicer for play if you just check at the end of your movement if your position is legal. Because that's not like that isn't actually how people play 40k, right? They don't like slide their model like inch by inch and make sure that every position like it never touches anything. They usually will just measure where you're gonna go and then put your base there. Where's the Bane Blade in terms of where it can go? Yeah, that's fucking so insane. That's just nuts. Clearly designed by people who don't actually play the game. Although it was designed in like whatever 6th edition when terrain was a lot different. Like back in the day, you played with no terrain on the table, so it didn't really matter what your model looks like. You played with like a couple little ruins that you could hide like a tactical squad in, and all the big monsters were supposed to stand out in the front and get shot. But now they just die if they get shot, so...
And take one
Yeah.
at AP1, or AP2.
Yeah, it does look cool. I like the idea, too. It's this big tentacle thing. It's like pretty... It's very Tyranidy. I like it.
Okay. Alright, so number of shots. 5. Oops. Okay, I didn't take both. I have no regular flamers, so we'll just call this dude his mini flamer. Red now. Keeps dropping things, but it's fine. 2. What the hell is going on? It keeps randomly dropping my dice. Alright. That 2 will miss. That 6 will sustain. And that 2 will miss. I get to reroll everything because you're on an objective. And I needed 6s. Oh, I need to roll these guys as well. While I'm at it, that was a 3. Which doesn't really matter because that's not going to hit. So those. Okay. We'll turn that one to a 6, and I can get rid of all of those. That one, because I needed 6s on that.
Building a Khorne Demon army? Hell yeah.
Right.
If you want to... I feel like Khorne Demons play Tyranids better than Tyranids do. Because they're, like, super fast, super aggressive, real, like, tradesy, really susceptible to shooting. They just die. Like, as soon as they're out in the open, just vaporized. But they have, like, lots of cool stacking buffs that you can, like, combo together to do, like, really nuts things. If you get, like, a couple Rendmasters onto a Fleshhound unit next to Scarbrand, they kill, like, anything in the game. And even next to a Bloodthirster, too. You can be, like, hitting on 2s, winning basically anything on 4s. That, like, AP 4/4 damage. You could just, like, truck Knights with 5 Fleshhounds. It gets absolutely insane. Yeah, to be fair, Scarbrand, like, Hyrule at least are, like, they're, like, super tanky, like, durable pieces, and Scarbrand's just, like, he's just a nuclear missile. You just send him in, he blows something up, and then he dies. But, like, Hyrules have guns, and Hyrules have, like, 2+ saves and high toughness values. Like, it's a different unit, but I do agree that Tyranids are dramatically underpowered in terms of their, offensive power in melee, for sure. So Canis Rex goes down. Sir Hector has disembarked, although that's a naval breacher, actually, today, but close enough. Interestingly, bring it down, not scored until Sir Hector is destroyed. Just play a Hierophant color today. I honestly, so I got a spot in an RTT this weekend, chat, and I was like, what do I play? I think I'm going to play Thousand Suns. Because I'm on kind of a kick. And I don't know. Maybe I want my brain to melt. I'm not sure. But there's a small part of me that wants to play Harry Dan. And it might happen. There's a not entirely 0 chance that I play Herald over the weekend. And, just like for the lulls. I definitely will lose my games, but is the World Eaters list out? I don't have any of those models. I have literally none. I own one Forge Feed. I own like one of the 9 demon engines in the list. I think had I been running my 3D printers the entire time, and I did not have enough resin for it, but if I've been running the 3D printers the entire time since I built the list, I might have had it done by this weekend. But I wouldn't have had an Angron. I would want to buy an Angron. Maybe if I do well at the tournament, I'll buy an Angron.
Definitely will not do it. I have
201 with the Tesseract Vault. Dude, Tesseract Vault's unironically pretty good. I did not realize how much they had been buffed in the the Codex release, because they almost literally doubled in damage output. We watched them play at 8 TC, and a Tesseract Vault basically single-handedly tabled an entire Demon's army by itself. It was like nutty. The amount of damage it was doing was insane. And obviously it has to play Hypercrypt Legion, but that would be pretty cool. Tell Inky that's her top priority. Inky just messes up my 3D prints by getting her hair in the resin tanks. I don't know how she does it. They're closed off, but she finds a way.
Well, actually, you can turn this to a 6.
It's just in the air, man.
You'll just turn that one to a 6 because he has not.
I do my best to, like, I don't want to, like, become that cat person who has hair all over them and, like, all over their apartment all the time. So I do my best to, lint roller everything and, like, vacuum a lot. But, man, it just gets around, dude. You can't get all of it. Scarbrander or Bloodthirster? You play Scarbrand, I think. The Bloodthirster is really cute. And, like, is better as an offensive piece. But Scarbrand has, like, basically the same damage output and is cheaper and is easier to deploy because his base is smaller. And he's a smaller model. So, like, you end up with these positions where the Bloodthirster gets screened out by enemy movements more easily. Whereas Scarbrand just slots in and then goes and fights them. And most of the time, they're just going to drop in and kill something and then die anyway. So, like, you're fine with that just being like a one-shot wonder.
So I think I just maxed it down. 1 mil to save.
Plus, Scarbrand's aura is better. I guess, assuming that you're on infantry or fleshhounds, Scarbrand's aura is better. Which is probably what you're on. The Bloodthirster is slightly better on Blood Crushers, but, like, I don't think it's massively significant. All right, I think we're going to get the talk out here, chat. 1 Armature versus fucking the entire Thousand Suns army. I don't think is going to be doing it. And that should be almost a Hunsky for Thousand Suns, although their primary is going to hurt a lot because they can't kill anything, which is kind of funny. But that should be it for Pod 57. Congratulations to Kyle for taking it down. Am I sure about Scarbrand? Yeah. Scarbrand is, competitively, Scarbrand's taken basically every time over the Bloodthirster.
So
And the thing about it,
guess
yeah, so that would be 1 1.
you either get 16 this turn or 12 in both turns, so it's identical.
Yeah.
So get that, and then I'll get a kill.
My 3,000 sounds over
there.
Cool.
Yeah. I think literally this here just like lost me the game immediately.
Yeah, that definitely hurt.
Because if Canis is still alive, or they aren't still alive, I can actually do something.
You do have 2 squads here. There's you still have Sir Hector.
But no, I said, because you're either gonna you either get 12 this turn for killing equal, or you get 16 for killing both, and then you can't get killed more at the end of the game because there's no clean kill.
Sure.
So basically, it's identical.
Yeah, you're right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
But yeah, the episode we're losing him, that's fine. Like I was kind of like that was like maybe like a little bit, but I was kind of expecting him like he had a good chance to die. But losing this guy here basically made it so this guy could shoot and kill Canis. And if Canis doesn't die, then I can kill like another 2 characters here with him.
Yeah, I was hoping to. I was probably gonna try and kill Canis with Magnus if I didn't think he was gonna die to the 2 Rubik squads, to be honest. So I was gonna try and kill him with Magnus and then charge over here to finish that off, which I probably would have lost a couple wounds on Fight on Death, but
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, wasn't much they could do there. It's upswing on that. Right. Yeah, let's end the game there.
Yeah, GG guys. This is a it's not impossible for Knights, but it's definitely, I think, a kind of an uphill battle. The damage output from like all the random stuff is just like so extreme against big targets. It gets tough.
I mean, it's better when it's mostly Warglaives, I think, because like every time I've played Imperial Knights and mostly Warglaives, it's been a lot. It's been a very difficult match, just because there's so many threats to like that hit really hard. Granted, the last time I did that was a double Mutalith Beast list, so they had more to kill with their meltaguns, so that does make a difference. But yeah, we Thousand Suns just hit so hard.
Right. Yeah, especially because like Knights can't. Some armies you can dodge the rubric squads by just hopping off the objectives, but Knights can't afford to do that because they only have so many units that they can hold objectives with. So you can't put your heavy hitters off the objective and hold them with Traff and make the Thousand Suns player kill all the garbage because you don't have any garbage. All your objective holders are also your power pieces, and that's what Thousand Suns are trying to kill anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I was being just purge the foe just because A, you have less units, and B, your units hit really, really hard. So I was a little worried that that was gonna end up swinging, that I was gonna lose on primary just because I wasn't gonna be able to keep up with kills. Just because I have so much chaff in this list.
Yeah. I don't know. I also feel I think if the Lancer fits in this square, but unfortunately does not fit there.
Yeah, that definitely hurt.
Yeah, because the Lancer literally can't.
Oh, because he's too wide. Yeah.
There's literally no. Yeah. So like his base hits are, but his
I
shield
moved
goes
Magnus
well.
back there because I was worried I wanted to make the charge longer. I did not realize that he just couldn't fit, which certainly helped.
Yeah, because I think if I charge Lancer, I think if I charge and kill Magnus there, I probably have a pretty good chance of winning the game.
If only we just used
then
base measurement and didn't worry about the model on top of the base. Wouldn't that be cool?
Or if only your walls are the normal height that all the other terrain features, every other terrain format is the normal height.
Well, these ones
your walls are still.
These are the size of the USO, right? 6. They usually they get a little gap.
Yeah, but I think on the GW train, usually this part of it is slightly shorter. So he can like might be able to like rotate himself.
Oh, maybe.
I don't remember what this wall looks like on GW train. It's been a while since I've looked at that.
Understood. Well, thanks for the game, guys. The results are in. So, yeah. Should be good to go. Cheers, everyone. You are all set, and congratulations on taking down a pod.
Thank you.
Cheers, man. I'm sure we'll see you in a future one.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Cool.
Right.
Well, have a good one. All right, chat. And there you have it. That is Pod 57, all done. What do I think of the Rendmaster on the Blood Throne? I think he's nuts. He's very good. If you... you'll see occasionally that there are... I'm going to pull his datasheet up real quick and we'll talk about him. You'll see occasionally that you'll play him as a one-off because he by himself is almost worth the... all right, we're just going to do Wahapedia today because I can't find my datasheets for some reason. He himself is almost just sort of worth the... worth the price of admission as a beat stick. You can put Argath, King of Blades on him, and he gets the strength bonus on all of his weapons. He only gets the attack bonus on his Blade of Blood, which, to be fair, is the one you care about anyway. Your extra attack weapons can't have their attacks value increased. But he goes up to potentially 7 attacks, and then you could make them strength 9? AP 3 4 damage because his benefit affects himself. So worst case scenario, and that's assuming you're not using Argath on a Bloodthirster, to be fair. Worst case scenario, he himself hits super hard, right? And if you're attacking characters, which is a lot of models in the game are characters. Like I would say the character keyword shows up in about like probably 25% of units, like all told. And then you also pick up monster. It's annoying he doesn't hit vehicles. If he hit vehicles, he might unironically be too good, to be fair, with his wound rerolls, because he would be too much of a beat stick, which is probably why they took vehicles off of the keyword. Because he would hit character, monster, vehicle hits about 80% of data sheets in the game, I think, or units that are played. But taking vehicles out of it means that he's not quite as much of like an armor cracker as you could make him. But worst case scenario, he's swinging a bunch of times with like AP 3 to 4 damage attacks, and that's already good, even if he's just wounding on 5s. But his ability, because it's not an aura ability, it's just a targeted buff, is stackable. So you can take 3 Rendmasters and they can all dump their buff onto something. So he can in a normal list, he's good at buffing your Khorne units and he's good at fighting. In a Khorne specific list, multiple of them supercharge your whole army and they make them absolutely insane. So I think if you're playing Khorne specifically, you just windmill slam 3 of them into the list. If you're playing if you're playing mixed demons, it's like a 0 to 1. Maybe 2 if you have a lot of Khorne stuff in your list, especially the light infantry, like the He's good with Blood Crushers because his buff affects a lot of attacks. He's good with the Flesh Hounds because they're really cheap and fast. He's okay with Bloodletters, but it's a little bit harder to get him on target with the stuff they want to charge. So, yeah, I think that I have a video about the Renmaster. I did a whole video where I talked about playing all Blood Crushers. I played 21 Blood Crushers plus 3 Rendmasters, so I had 24 mounted Khorne like beat sticks. It was kind of a nutty list. I think I went 2-2 though. I lost to Ironstorm Spearhead. That's like unwinnable, but if you play a more regular demon list with Endless Gift, you're probably okay. But if you play all the Khorne meme stuff, you just die of that matchup. But it's okay to have one bad matchup. Mechanical Gold Bull's OP, it's true. A new recruit, when you take a Demon Prince of Khorne, it gives +2 more strength on every attack. Yeah, that's so the Demon Princes in Chaos Demons get a special. They get a stat line increase based on their Mark of Chaos. It's specifically for the. I think the Chaos Space Marine Demon Princes do it too. But if you are Khorne keyworded, you get +2 strength on your Hellforged weapons. So your melee attack gets +2. So he's another good recipient for Argath because he goes to strength 12. And if you're buffing him with a Blood Throne, he goes to strength 13, AP 3, 4 damage. Like the dude will just kill tank, like cut knights in half and stuff. That's another like really funny list. Is that you can run like 6 Demon Princes with a bunch of characters and just like make them do silly things. Yeah, Inky's she's coming out to play. And I believe the Chaos Space Marine Demon Princes also do that. I think they have the same effect. Where are you at, Chaos Space Marine Demon Prince? Why can't I? Jesus Christ, I'm so bad at this, Chaos Space Marines. Because it's 2 lines. Alright, I've got Inky up on one hand right now. She's in a weird position. She's totally fine with it, apparently. Where's the Demon Prince? Oh, Heretic Astartes Demon Prince, excuse me. Jesus Christ. Think my camera's on? Will my camera work today? I don't know what happens with my camera. It like turns off and then it doesn't want to turn back on unless I unplug it and plug it back in. So I have to go like manually reset it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, so the Heretic Astartes Demon Princes also do the same thing. $125 points less than the list. How should you complete it? You have a Bloodmaster. Demon Princes Argath. Renmaster, Bellicor, Karanak, Scarbrand, Skulltaker, 10 Bloodletters, 10 Bloodletters, 10 Fleshhounds. I don't know if I liked Karanak. I guess he's only 65 points now, but the problem is you could take 5 for 10 more points. You could take 5 more Fleshhounds, and that just like feels better to me. He like targets a unit and you get bonuses against it, right? Yeah. Start of the first battle round's like 20 unit, you get lethal hits. Yeah. Reroll advance and charge rolls is okay. You get a 3+ field up in against psychic attacks, it's okay. And he like hits kind of hard, but I don't know if he's really worth it. Because he's also just gonna die, probably. I think you just want more Fleshhounds, to be honest. If you could take. I would probably cut the second Bloodletter unit. Oh, you have Skulltaker and the Bloodmaster. I think you want 1 Bloodletter unit. I'll put the list on screen so people can see what we're talking about. I'm sorry. I think you cut this Bloodletter unit and the Bloodmaster, and you just take the Skulltaker unit. And then you take another 10 of Fleshhounds and another 5 of Fleshhounds. That feels like what the game plan to me. That cuts you a character, so you don't give up Assassination quite as bad. And the Fleshhounds are really good utility. I played 30 with triple Rend Masters for a while, and that was pretty solid. Do I still have that list? I wonder if... I bet I do. It's on my TacticalTortoise TV channel somewhere. Because I played that, like, last year. It would have been, like, 6 months, I think. It was when I figured out that, you could stack the Rendmaster buff, and I was like, holy shit, actually, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't know if I can find it now. Can we get to the same, like, 30 to 1? No, I can't find it. I'm so bad at this game, chat. Is the Skullmaster good on his own? Is the which one? Like the Blood Crusher character? No, I don't think so. You just take like random demon, like garbage ass demon units to go do objectives. That's what you want. If you're like locked in, I also don't know if I love the Skull Cannon. It keeps your opponent's head down, but doesn't actually do any damage. If you're like locked into all Khorne, then you probably run out of stuff. But if you're okay with taking like some Nurglings or something, or like Pink Horrors, or maybe Plague Bearers, those are all like really good value. Yeah, the character's not like the Blood Crushers are good for being Blood Crushers. Honestly, like just 3-man Blood Crusher squads are also just really good value too. I would probably try to fit those in before like getting fancy with it. I think I would do something like this. Let me just follow the through line real quick. I would make a list. Make it Chaos Demons. And take new recruit. We are on mobile readout right now, which kind of sucks. Can you give me... Really? Really, right now? Is that what we're doing? New recruit? Okay. So you take Be'lakor because he makes your army great. You take Skull Taker, Scarbrand. I think you just Windmill Slam, triple Rendmaster. Where the fuck did he go? Oh, we're in Epic Heroes. Of course. You Argath one of them. And then you take Fleshhounds. And you go like 10, 10, 5 probably. And then you take Bloodletters. So this list, like, you might give up Max Assassinate, but they have to kill the Greater Demons, which gets a little bit like awkward. So you might not run into the assassination like Windmill Slam. And then we were taking. Shoot, what was I just about to do? Oh, Bloodletters, of course. One Bloodletter unit for Skull Taker, and then we are almost at like the Blood Crusher meme. We're 10 points off the Blood Crusher, triple Blood Crushers. So we have 2 and 100 points to spend. So we could take like, if you're not locked into Khorne, you could take like some of the other stuff. Nurglings, like double Nurglings is probably good. You could cut Argath too, probably. It's like nice, but it's not strictly necessary to take the third Blood Crusher unit. That also works. So then you have Fleshhounds that can do utility. 2 units can be like your hammers, and then you just drop in the Rendmasters and they supercharge the Fleshhounds on something, and like 10 Fleshhounds just like turn it into soup. The Bloodletters can flip an objective for you, and the Blood Crushers can come in and clear out like enemy utility units, or just be your utility themselves if you want them to. And I think that's like kind of how it works. The Blood Crusher mortals, yeah. Yeah, so the cool thing about the Blood Crushers is that they're mortal wounds, brass stampede here. It works. You select one enemy one unit within engagement range of the unit. Roll 1d6 for each model in the unit. Unlike Assault Intercessors, it doesn't trigger for each model engaging the unit. It simply requires that your unit is in engagement range of the enemy. So you charge something and you roll for your whole unit. So they average 1 mortal wound per Blood Crusher, because you have a 50-50 chance to do, on average, 2 mortal wounds. So if you take the big unit, you take the Bloodmaster and the Skullmaster, excuse me, and the 6 of them, they average 7 mortal wounds on the charge, which like half kills anything. It's a little like silly. You don't need that much efficiency. They end up like wildly overkilling whatever you want, and then they all die. But they are, but it's still like you can do a lot of silly stuff with it. Yeah, these things are really good. So, like, this is, I would say, something like this is probably pretty close to, like, what a meta Khorne Demons list looks like. Like, quote-unquote meta. I think this is close to what Skauki played. Skauki, like, X1 to tournament with an all Khorne Demon list a couple weeks ago and played something almost identical. He had the Bloodletters. I don't think he had all 3 Rendmasters. And he might have had a Bloodthirster instead of Scarbrand, but he had all the other stuff. Yeah. Something like Demon Prince with Argath, double Rendmaster, Bellicor, Scarbrand, 10 Bloodletters, 3 Nurglings, Blood Crushers, Fleshhounds. Yeah, no, this looks good. I would play that. I think that's solid. The one weird, there's like a little bit of anti-synergy because the Demon Prince gives an aura of stealth, but he doesn't affect Bellicor with it because Bellicor already has stealth. So you kind of want the Demon Prince to like maybe start in reserve and then drop down the turn that the Fleshhounds go in and try to give them stealth. So they're stickier to kill the turn that they commit. I think is probably how they would end up working. Or Scarbrand. At the turn that Scarbrand jumps in, you basically want your opponent to have to like put their whole army into whatever you're charging them with in order to kill it. So you just trade up at that point because you get to kill something and then they kill whatever you charge with, and you get to kill something else again. So you're just like alpha striking them over and over again. And you want the Demon Prince to sort of set that up, and then charge in like after a turn after he jumps in himself. I think that's probably how it would end up working. But yeah, demons are super fun. If I had more models, my problem is my demons army right now is all it's all 9th edition stuff. It's all like 9th edition meta. So I have like Bellicor, I have a Lord of Change, I have one like regular ass Bloodthirster. I don't have any of like the cavalry or the Nurglings and stuff, or Fleshhounds. And if I did, I would probably play demons this weekend because I think demons are. They might be my favorite army to play in 10th edition, like just hands down. I have a Grey Knights army too. I could play Grey Knights. Do I want to? I don't know. My Grey Knights army's painted. That's exciting. Hate Nurgle. Not many other options for low points of field demons other than Nurglings. Yeah. Yeah, Nurglings feel like a necessary evil. They're like so good, right? Because they infiltrate so they can block enemy pregame moves. And they deep strike so they can do actions for you. And their battle line. They're just like, they have everything going for them. And they have a like the -1 to hit aura is like kind of nutty. If you can get that behind your guys, they're -1 to hit in shooting because of the Demon Prince and -1 to hit in melee because of the Nurglings. They're just like super tough to deal with. But it is annoying. Like you might be able to find like, there might be some like funny proxies for them. I would try to do proxies for sure, I think. If I played them IRL, I would do like little Brimstone Horrors or something because I like them. Just little dancing fiery guys. To be fair, oh, you're talking about the Grey Knights models? Yeah. I have a lot. Some of my Grey Knights are like old metal Terminators, and they're like they're little tiny baby boys. It's so funny. Grey Knights look fun. You don't have to use too many models. Yeah. I have one Dread Knight, but I dropped him and he broke, and I never fixed him. And I don't know where all his pieces went. Shit. I played him like one time. Yeah. I could play like all Terminator Grey Knights, I guess. Get bowled over by orcs. It feels bad. Yeah. There's like... There's a guy online who does... Let's see if I can find him. Oh, it's this guy. Here we go. He does like super like sort of, I don't know. Like sort of high, I want to call it like high sci-fi Grey Knights. It's this guy. Where they look like fucking Gundams, dude. And I feel like this is what Grey Knights want to be, right? It's not just like a man in a funny suit of armor. It's like an actual, it's like a space knight with the cool space knight stuff. What was that game? I talked to them on, I think I talked to them on Twitter or something, and they gave me props, and I think they still exist. Shit. There's a game with a space knight faction in it that it released like 5 years ago or something. I'm just gonna look up Space Knight miniatures game and see if I can find what I'm talking about. Oh, I feel so bad. They like said nice things to me, and now I feel bad that I forgot the name of their fucking game. But they had a really cool kit. It was a resin kit, and it was like a modular. They had a whole faction of Space Knight dudes, which were like very Grey Knights-y. But they had like a modular kit where you would like assemble them however you wanted, and they were like fully posable with like ball and socket joints and stuff. And it was the coolest fucking thing. And I was so jelly of their cool sculpting. I don't know if the game ever got expansions or anything, but I know they were very proud of their kits. And that's like what I want Grey Knights to look like. Ugh, now I can't fucking find it. The setting was really weird. The two factions were like Space Knights and Space Pirates. Oh, is this it? Did I find it? I think I did, chat. Oh, I think I did! Is it called Verge of War? Is that the one? Yes! The Noble Houses. This was it. I found it. Like, this is what I want Grey Knights to be, right? Like, it's like he's like a clearly like a sort of, you know, over-the-top Space Knight, but he's also like, he is like a sci-fi dude with like big power armor. And Grey Knights right now are like, I was a little Space Marine. I'm just a little Space Marine with my little Space Marine armor, but it's silver, so it's 2+ save. And you're like, come on, man, really? This is what, I want to play this army. Love the, was it the baby carrier? The Dread Knight? Mine is a print that has an enclosed cockpit. It's like a big armor suit instead of a like a little baby carrier guy. Should look higher tech than normal Space Marines, yeah. Like even I don't know, even what was the stupid show, the stupid game? Was it Demon Hunters. Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters. Like, the trailer for this game made Grey Knights look so fucking cool. Like, give me that shit, dude. Why can't I play these guys? Like, these guys look sick. But the models just, like, absolutely do not look like that. They're just... like, this is what I want Grey Knights to be. I want them to be the elite of the elite Space Marines. Like, all the highest tech. All the coolest shit. But it's all, like, over the top, like, silly. But they just look like goofy people. I don't know. What was that? Yeah, it's, okay, demon. There were one where he's, like, running and fighting demons was, like, super cool. Is it this one? The cinematic trailer? Turn my music off. Look at this shit, chat. This trailer was so sick.
Armored in faith, shielded by devotion, armed with purity of purpose.
Except that guy. He wasn't armed with purity of purpose. He was armed with some
The
lame.
Emperor's will made manifest. We are the warriors of the Grey Knights, Demon Hunters. Chaos cannot stand against us.
Dude, I fucking played that fight out. Those guys are dead. That Guo's got endless gift for sure. And they are never gonna kill him. He's gonna murder them. Yeah. According to the lore, yeah, 4 of them versus the Grand and Clean one. The Grand and Clean one should not stand a chance. But tabletop, nah, Guo eats that charge, takes like 2 damage, and then kills the whole unit. That's how that works on the tabletop. 100%. He like swings back, kills 1 in the fight phase, kills 1 more in the in the shooting phase, and then they swing, do like 1 more damage, and then he kills them. That's usually how that goes. But that's because Grand and Clean ones are super silly right now. Yeah, a vomit was. He's like -1 toughness, so you get on a T5. My spray wounds on 4s, so here's like 4 wounds, AP2, no cover. And you're just like, okay. I lose a guy to that, and he's like, flail, wounds on 3s now, like on your invuln. He's like, okay. I lose a guy to that. You're like, okay. Melee attack, I lose a guy to that. Brutal. Oh yeah, I guess this guy's a character probably. Maybe he's a paladin. I don't know. Maybe he's got the Liber Demonica or whatever. And he's like +1 damage. And maybe he does 5 damage instead of 2 damage. What a good trailer, chat. 40K does cool cinematics, I will say. All right, champ. I'm going to go ahead and pop off. Someone asked me for a game, and I might play it. But I'm not sure. I think I may, just to rock a game. So I might be live later. If anybody wants to hang out later, I might be live rocking just some random Thousand Suns garbage I put together based on what I have in my case right now. But that would be in an hour or so. So I'm going to hop off. There's like a 50-50 chance I play afterwards. And if I do, then I'll see you then. If I don't, then cheers. We'll go raiding. Who can we raid right now? Anybody doing cool stuff? Nope. Everybody's doing lame things. All right, yeah, we'll go raid Burning Clock Studios. Let me tell you, that's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. I'm gonna be burning some clocks for sure. All right, chats. Cheers, everyone. And I might see you later. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. We have a stream. It's 9 p.m. PST, Pacific time. So it's going to be like midnight for me, but we're going to rock it anyway because I believe in myself. And we're just gonna rock a pod finals. So that's going to be tomorrow evening. So I'll come see you then. Cheers, everyone.